Before we get started, I would like to express my full and unyielding support for the SAG-AFTRA WGA strike. Pay your artists, otherwise you will lose them and you will not get them back and you will be poorer for that fact. I debated a long time whether or not to do this reaction series for season 2 at all because of the SAG-AFTRA strike until the creators of the show themselves came out and said, please support our shows during this strike so we can show these streaming services and production companies that our stuff matters. So I would like to express my full support, and once again, do no harm, take no We need to talk. I would say a little over a month ago, because it was in June during my vacation, I uploaded a full supercut to my YouTube channel, and a lot of you guys really enjoyed it, even though YouTube did demonetize it for some stupid reason. But that's not the point. You guys have really been having a lot of spirited discussion in the comments, which I love. You know I love it, but I do want you guys to be aware. I can see every single comment, so when you guys discuss spoilers for season 2, I can see that. And listen, I know that you guys are just enthusiastic. That's fine. I love the enthusiasm. I love the discussion. I am just asking you, as I did with Vox Machina, to please be mindful. Other people who want to watch the show see your comments as well. And spoilers can actually decide whether or not someone actually does watch a show. And in these times, it's more important than ever for people to watch these shows. Thank you for your support, but please be mindful of the spoilers that you put in the comments. Now, for those of you who know, and for those of you who don't, my name is TK, your resident lunatic. This is my breakfast, and today we are watching season 2, episode 1 of Good Omens. And I had a lot to say about the first season. I enjoyed it, although there were some things that you guys already know this that I found boring, or maybe worked better in the book than they did in the show, particularly Mr. Shadwell. There is a part of me that wonders if there needed to be a second season at all. Now, to me, a second season doesn't seem super necessary because the first season was a fairly succinct story. The apocalypse is coming. We don't want the apocalypse to happen. Therefore, we're going to stop it. A little more story-driven than character-driven, but saying that it's either one or the other I think is a bit reductive. I would say depending on whose point of view you tell the story from, but that makes me wonder what's coming next. At the end of the day, whether or not I think Good Omens needs a season 2 doesn't really matter because there was always going to be a sequel. Apparently, there were notes and outlines written before Pratchett's death. Unfortunately, the book just never got written. I actually have a lot of faith in this second season, considering that one of the original authors of the book, Neil Gaiman, is a part of the creation process. Because, you know, Disney likes to do this thing where they have one super successful movie. They make sequels to those movies, like for instance Pirates of the Caribbean. The second movie, Dead Man's Chest, is based off of a throwaway line from the original Pirates of the Caribbean. The sequels usually seem quite convoluted even. I hope that season 2 of Good Omens keeps it sort of pared down, and once again I have a lot of faith in it because of Neil Gaiman's supervision. I gotta say, the more I read his stuff, the more I'm like, yeah, I get the hype. With that being said, let's go ahead and put on our headphones and see what new fresh hell is in store for us. Oh god, that's really loud. Ooh, who's this? Oh, it's Crowley before he became a demon. Yeah, what's up?
Yep.
So they actually met before the Garden of Eden.
I've been waiting for this since,
Time doesn't exist for us, so always.
11 to 3 million.
Okay, yeah. Crowley's really good at research, apparently.
Let me lie.
Ah, there's the Big Bang. I can hear just the cries of a million Baptist fundamentalists just weeping into their hands. I don't mean to be cynical. I can be a bit of a bitch when it comes to, like, matters of religion and my bitterness regarding that, but... Oh.
I mean, more or less, I wasn't,
I'm the engineer, shut up! So, wait, does Aziraphale not recognize Crowley after he fell?
Well, what exactly does it all do?
It's the universe!
All the dust and gas you can see is actually
Like, it
building.
takes a minute, damn. Even in biblical texts, it took 7 days. Relax.
Stars everywhere.
It's like, oh, that sounds fun.
You know, the current word from upstairs is that we'll be shutting this all down again in about 6,000 years.
Oh, he's so disappointed.
What's the point in creating an infinite universe with trillions of star systems if you're only going to let it run for a few thousand years?
My thoughts exactly.
You've heard of Earth?
Not as such.
No, remember, there's trillions of star systems. I don't remember all of them.
They'll breed like, well, they'll breed like people.
We don't have rabbits yet.
Well, they exist just so that the people can look up into the night sky and marvel at the illimitable vastness of the Almighty's creation.
I'm really feeling the subtle sarcasm here.
On the details of creation.
Whose job is it?
Someone's got to.
Someone has
And
to
he's
say.
so confused.
Well,
Ooh, the thought of rebellion always makes his ear feel super uncomfortable.
Anyone could object to me putting a note into the suggestion box.
You're gonna get fired. The very subtle sarcasm and just general critique of organized religion is a little heavy-handed, but the episode's only 48 minutes, so.
I'd hate to see you getting into any trouble.
See, under any other circumstances, that would be
And thanks for your
incredibly
advice, I wouldn't worry.
manipulative.
How much trouble can I get into just for asking a few questions?
Crowley has clearly never worked corporate. Heaven is a call center. Oh, why do I feel like that's more symbolism than it ought to be? We'll watch the intro just this once. One thing that's always interesting I see is that Crowley seems to always lead. Considering what I've heard, I wonder if that's gonna be a theme in this case. There's gonna be a lot of new John Hamm in this if the commercials are anything to be believed. I need the shows and movies we watch on this channel to stop showing me mushy booty that I did not ask to see. Maybe 2 butts in this world that I have asked to see, and I'm married to one of them. Or I will be. Y'all get onto me all the time for saying that almost husband is my husband, but he is my husband, okay? Shut up. Semantics! Yeah, so I'm guessing that after the apocalypse is no longer a thing, the question would be, what now? What do Crowley and Aziraphale do now? They have lived for the apocalypse up until this very moment, so what happens now?
Maggie.
Oh no, I love her. I love her style. It reminds me of this record store in downtown where I used to work. Beautiful store.
I could be out of here in 2 weeks.
Oh, poor thing.
Don't you like it anymore?
Oh, Mr. Fell, I love this shop.
But money is a thing. I know money isn't a thing to you, but it is to me.
Finding the 78s is much harder than the long players. Frankly, I wouldn't know where to start.
I don't have the money.
Okay, I don't care.
You can't just forgive me 8 months' rent.
Oh, I can.
Watch me. Aziraphale, the socialist landlord, love it. Although, once again, he's not doing it entirely for her benefit. Because what we learned in the first season is Aziraphale can actually be quite selfish.
Can make beautiful music.
I'm not a spy, bro.
Beautiful music.
I'm not the spy, bro. I'm not feeding the goose.
Wrong bench.
I'm not feeding the geese. Thanks, dude. See you later.
Bills, Miss. Ducks shouldn't eat bread. What are you meant to give them then?
Peas.
And hell doesn't care how jobs get done.
Yeah, I remember.
Crowley's also works at a call center, it seems.
How do you mean?
What's the point of it all?
Yeah, there we go. He's doubting it all.
And something's up.
Upworm.
Up.
What does that mean? I do love her outfit, though.
your
Like,
contact
genuinely. The hat sells it.
Frozen peas.
What?
Ducks.
That's when you feed ducks.
Yeah. Or green beans. You can feed them peas, you can feed them lima beans, fava beans, edamame. I'm sorry. I like ducks, okay? Oh, I will say this second season already seems a lot more stylish than the previous one. Oh, Mr. Ham, I think when someone said birthday suit, you got a little confused. I personally don't think John Hamm would be stopping traffic with his nudity, but sure, because I can tell you where I live, he probably would have gotten tackled by now. He looks confused, though. Oh, bro, why you got jiggle physics? I don't...
You
you are and also who I am.
Oh, okay. What happened to Gabriel? I think he plays Gabriel, right?
Stripper deliverogram.
You just made that up. Yeah.
Oh, they're cute. I've also got work to do.
I just don't know who me is.
Ah, well, thanks for that.
But you know me.
Do I?
No, someone who looks like you.
He wasn't very nice to me.
Probably me then.
Sure.
Don't recognize me.
Nah, sorry.
Totally certain that everything would be better if you were just near one particular person?
Oh! You ever woken up from anesthesia and the first thing you see your significant other? That's how it feels.
Whoa, this is amazing.
Okay, but something terrible?
Tell me about this something terrible.
I literally have no memories. The package, Aziraphale, context clues, bud! He was carrying a box, Aziraphale.
Well then, I expect it will be fine. Most things are fine in the end.
Most things.
No, they're fine.
The box.
The box.
There we go. Took you a minute. Is he actually going to be able to get it, or is someone else going to pick it up? Also, don't do that with your boxes. Just use packing tape, for God's sake. Apparently, his license there is a Doctor Who reference. Yeah, it's an anagram for TARDIS, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There's no N in TARDIS. There's nothing in it, of course. There's a fly in there.
You're funny. I love you.
Oh, please.
Yeah, I was about to say, that fly...
Gabriel.
I will say he's killing this, like, blissful amnesiac role.
James. Cool, I love it.
James Gabriel.
It's long for Jim, short for Gabriel.
I'll try. He was smuggling something out, and it's got something to do with the fly, and if I recall correctly, there was someone he was standing next to who had a fly on their head at the last episode of the first season. Out of his mouth go burning lamps. Oh. And sparks of fire leap out. That's much easier to read. I guess in this universe, angels have finger curls and really nice shoes. Yeah, this season seems quite a bit more stylized than the previous one. Fucking walk.
This was your something's wrong voice.
Aw, he knows him so well.
What do you sell that calms people down?
Eccles cakes?
Eccles cakes.
Sure.
How's your naked man friend?
He's not.
Excuse me? Naked what?
Are you a bookseller too?
Not even at gunpoint.
Does Crowley even have a job? I thought about that. Aziraphale has a job. What does Crowley do?
Has this got anything to do with why we aren't in your bookshop right now?
Aziraphale, you called him over. Just say it with your mouth. Tell him what the problem is. There's no need for this subterfuge. Sir, you just took...
Doing good again, Angel?
Oh, it hardly counts. Purely selfish action.
I mean, you're not wrong. It was. Hey, my thing is, why was he putzing around?
Pity, I thought it was my charming personality. I need to finish closing the shop. My partner's expecting me home.
Oh. Oh. What a heartbreak for the record shop girl.
Hi there.
Gabriel!
This was a great reaction. My thing is, why didn't you just ease him into this, Aziraphale? There was no need for the subterfuge and the dancing around it. You knew you'd need to warn him, and you knew he'd be upset, so just like...
Doing in this bookshop.
Ew, why are you spitting on me?
I am Dusty.
You could have warned him about the lack of memory, too. So what the fuck was the coffee shop thing about?
The crucial part of the plan isn't the taking him somewhere.
It's the getting him out of here.
He said something terrible was going to happen.
I think something terrible was going to happen to him specifically.
I don't think he really has any friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any friends, so he needs us.
What?
Yeah, what? Pardon? Because I know you ain't saying that shit to me.
Peaceful, fragile existence that I have carved out for myself here.
I thought we carved it out for ourselves.
So did I.
Ooh, ooh, he's got you there.
You're at liberty to go.
Oh, we're fighting. Okay, we're fighting.
I'm asking you to help me take care of him.
That's a big ask, Aziraphale. I'm not helping you help your abusive older brother, okay? I don't want to leave him alone with him.
See that bloke? 6 shots of espresso. He's smoking. There's no law against it.
No, he's literally smoking.
So I go
So, demonic lightning reacts on 2 wavelengths, just...
Is that during Gabriel's absence, his duties must still be carried out. Someone's got to give the orders.
Well, my Doc Martens say that it's gonna be somebody else.
All of us. Led by me.
I was the second in command. Oh.
Hello.
She's cute. She's adorable, though. I love her outfit. The addition of disabled angels is so interesting because, of course, if heaven wants a better standing of the humans they created, then of course. If humans are based off of angels and they have the image of God, then of course there would be disabled angels. It makes sense. Thank you. Is that a matchbox from hell? This poor thing. She's so nervous. That absolutely looks like a cosplay I would want eventually, though. Do they not know what it is?
That's definitely an earthly object.
Okay. Oh, Crowley and his plants. There's the fly. Ew, 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 ew.
Oh,
That's a different actress.
is that on your face?
Oh, yep. So you brought it up.
Crowley, you know Earth better than anyone.
Well,
But what were you doing in the box,
Lots of
Bees?
places are not.
The fly in the box wasn't on accident.
Extreme sanctions.
Okay. That was...
That isn't actually a thing.
Yeah. That was a lot of build-up.
They will never have existed.
They will be de-rezzed. Tron style.
No, Aziraphale, what have you done?
Well, it wasn't Aziraphale's fault.
If I owned a record shop, I'd be more worried about people breaking in and leaving more records behind.
I mean, could you stop bagging on my business, please?
Well, I need a drink.
Are you okay?
No judgment.
Good.
I didn't ask.
I've enough judgment in my life already.
You're not okay. Oh, Crowley's mad. I mean, when is he not? I see Crowley drives like my mother, and I mean that in the most loving way possible. Love you, Mom.
Why sell records? Nobody buys records anymore.
You'd be surprised. The vinyl movement is strong in this city.
Oh, really? My bad.
And they're like, what the fuck? Uh-huh.
That's Lindsay.
Whoever Lindsay is quite controlling. You're in a lot more trouble than you realize.
Yes, I can see that.
I was wrong dance in 1650, in 1793, 1941.
Fine.
So let me see it.
You were right. You were right. I was wrong. You were right.
Bitch.
Very nice.
Mr. Sheen, why you gotta say it like that? All he had to do was, like, wear a different color and have a riding crop in his hand.
Outside.
Outside sounds so much fun. Can we buy this man some clothes, please? Like, can we get rid of the plaid toga?
Former people, and you could hide him from mine.
I don't like being talked about like I'm not here.
Insubstantial. Fractional half a miracle we have ever performed.
Sure.
No traces of anything miraculous left behind.
Uh-huh.
And now?
While we figure out what's actually going on.
I think I know what's going on.
What?
You two have the hots for each other.
That was a Class A surreptitious half a miracle.
I feel like that was a bigger miracle than you might think it was, bro. What'd I tell you?
I think this one's for you to tell.
I think something happened. Uriel has no time for Michael's crap. Yep. There you go.
There's a former angel in this up to his bookshop owning neck.
Okay, not on purpose! Okay, so that was an interesting introduction into the new season. I am a little worried because the previous season was just barely mentioned at all, but I see now that this season is going to concentrate specifically on Crowley and Aziraphale, seeing as how they were really the main focus of, I would say, a lot of the fandom's attention. I think the first season really tried to branch out beyond them, but Sheen and Tennant are such powerhouse actors to where that's who people honed in on. And I gotta say, as a duo, they're fantastic. There are a lot of character decisions that are being made that are probably going to end in disaster at about episode 3. And because people are begging for a season 3 already, they're probably not going to be resolved by episode 6. As a matter of fact, the summaries of the episodes on Amazon pretty bluntly state that fact. I do feel that this second season has a lot more attention to detail simply because the nature of the story has changed. I don't want to say elucidation, that's not really the right word I want to use. As far as the deeper exploration into Aziraphale and Crowley's relationship, Crowley is very used to having to take care of Aziraphale, if that's the right phrase I want to use. I don't know if it is, but he's clearly very used to having to save his ass, essentially. Once he welcomes Gabriel back into the bookshop, he's like, you know what? I'm not doing this. But then he finds out that Aziraphale's problem isn't just Aziraphale's problem. Right now, it's about to be everyone's problem. I get why he went back, and him going back to me is very important because he will always go back for Aziraphale. He didn't go back for Hell, he didn't go back for Beelzebub, he didn't go back for anybody but Aziraphale. Crowley always comes back, but I am not sure if Aziraphale has come back for Crowley. I don't know if I'm describing this well. Maybe if I see the next couple episodes, I will be able to form my thoughts more cohesively. Hoping that it's just the menstrual brain, because Lord knows I hopped on the menstrual cycle and then it ran my ass over. It definitely feels like an improvement in overall style and just the flow of dialogue. You could tell that the previous season was following the book, especially because of the narration, and you guys know that I'm not fond of narration. I actually quite enjoyed it. The second season has really established itself as a character-driven story. This does make me think that this season isn't going to end happily, especially after some of the spoilers y'all put in my comments. So once again, please like if you like this video. If you really like this video, please subscribe. And if you really, really like me, you can find me on Patreon, where I post full uncut reactions the day before they go up on YouTube. And this doesn't just include my reactions, but also rewatches of previous episodes and uncut, uncensored versions of my analysis videos, like for instance Skate the Infinity and The Untamed. You can find me on every piece of social media: Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, and Twitter. Yes, it's still called Twitter. Fuck Twitter! And with that being said, stay weird, lovelies, and happy eating! One of the things I see in my comments a lot is that a lot of people say that I'm quite observant, and while I have honed my people watching skills over almost 2 decades of working retail and food service, I am just sitting really close to the screen. Some of you guys have clocked that I've been grumpier than usual on social media, and yeah, I haven't had a lot of sleep. I'm working on like my 3rd headache in 2 weeks. Listen, I haven't started any fights, so I think you should all be proud of me, although you guys have been very patient with me, thank you. With that being said, for those of you who know and for those of you who don't, my name is TK, your resident lunatic, and today we are watching episode 2 of Good Omens season 2. And I gotta say, the way you guys showed up for like the premiere of the first season of the first episode really touched me. However, I was actually in the middle of grocery shopping when it premiered. My husband and I were doing our usual grocery run, and I was sitting there in the checkout line going like, okay, let me check what everyone's saying. But with that being said, I really did enjoy the episode. All of the differences from the first season feel like improvements. I noticed that they seem to be filming on a much smaller area, and while the first season seemed like they were filming on location, the second one looks like a soundstage. Now, I could be wrong, like I was wrong about the fire in the previous season. Everything feels like a natural progression rather than a change that undermines the first season. I could go on and on about how Castlevania season 4 completely undermines season 3, but that's not the point. So there are a couple questions we have, right? Like, what is Gabriel trying to do? Like, what happened? Why was the fly in the box? Because clearly, going by the comments and the fact that the camera kept focusing on it, and if the fly was bees, why are they trying trying to get Crowley to look for Gabriel? Is it some kind of ruse or some kind of cover-up? What is the something terrible? Is the something terrible really going to be like some world-encompassing disaster like it was in the first season? Or was something terrible going to happen to Gabriel because whatever is going on between him and Bees? I'm hoping that the next couple of episodes will do that particular mystery justice, because what I'm afraid of happening, I'm going back to Castlevania Season 4 because I'm still mad about it, that I'm afraid they will present us with this deep mystery and then suddenly sum it up so we can have the two main characters get on with whatever they're doing. And this is something that happened in Our Flag Means Death too. Olawande and Jim's entire side story was just solved with no preamble, just so we can get back to the ending of Steed and Edward's story. My biggest fear is that we will run into the same problem of the show being too short, because the episodes of this season are shorter and it still has the same amount of episodes. If you're going to present us with new characters and new problems, they all deserve their day in the sun. One of the things I've noticed about this season is that the nature of Crowley and Aziraphale's relationship has changed. Because of what happened in season 1, they are now far more honest with each other than they were in the first place. I noticed that they seem much more willing to communicate. Crowley would not have said, "Well, so did I," in season 1, I don't think. I think he probably just would have left. Now, honesty doesn't necessarily translate to tact, so I bet because they're more willing to be honest with each other that there are gonna be a lot more hurt feelings in the coming episodes. In the previous episode, we were also introduced to Maggie, I think, the record shop owner, and Nina. I am not quite sure what their purpose is in the story yet, but I'm already seeing the Aziraphale and Crowley parallels, because Maggie and Crowley are similar in a fact that they don't seem to have much in the way of family or a support system. Hell kind of leaves Crowley alone for the most part until Bees started annoying him. Even during the apocalypse, like, they didn't even notice he had given the wrong baby to the wrong family. Maggie just doesn't seem to have much in the way of family or a support system, especially because she was nearly evicted. There was no one she would call. There's no telling if she had someone she could move in with. And on the other hand, there is Nina, who has a partner who is constantly keeping tabs on her. If she makes even the slightest mistake, she's up her ass. That's kind of what happened with Aziraphale, especially in the first season. Michael was always judging him, and the other angels were constantly talking down to him. I'm seeing the parallels, but I don't quite know if there's a point to it yet, because we didn't get a chance to talk with them a lot. The more I watched that episode, because I ended up watching it about 3 times because I failed to record it the second time, the chemistry seems a bit off. They weren't given enough time to sort of develop, and the chemistry wasn't quite there yet. It was just the first episode, because you know me, I'm gonna make mountains out of molehills, and I can talk on any subject for as long as possible if you let me. Now, before I start ranting too much, let us put on our headphones and commence with the drama, my friends.
God has abandoned you. The God who claims to love you.
Is this David and Isaac? Or Abraham and Isaac, excuse me. Aziraphale, that does not fit you, babe. Hey, it's you! Hey, what's up?
I haven't seen you since... Flood?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Where was I?
Avant, yes.
No, thank you. See, I have a permit.
A permit?
Can you show it to me?
These goats belong to Job, right?
Yes, Job. Who is, I might add, a particular favourite of God. This can't be real. Job is a good and righteous man.
And a patient one. Oh! I'm sorry, just vaporizing goats.
Job.
Nothing.
Job's the nicest man in the world. That's why he's so perfect for the bet. Anyway, long story short, God's letting Satan destroy everything Job has.
I would like to reiterate that this is actually quite accurate to the Old Testament scripture.
His geese?
Oh, and also apparently I accidentally misgendered Muriel in the previous episode. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize that Muriel goes by they pronouns.
Of course it is.
I'm sorry. That wig is crying, weeping even.
Probably 7. You know how God likes 7s.
The heavenly number, supposedly. I mean, that's why it's... Let me not go into symbolism. We'll do it in the text moments, okay? The wig is screaming.
We are the good guys.
This episode will be tackling the theme of long suffering. I do like that sweater there. I don't know why he's wearing that ugly tie that doesn't match with it, but you know.
But no one would ever... Jolly good idea.
Me, just tell him what to do. No, see, I had a problem with that song when I heard it in the closing credits because I couldn't get the stupid TikTok version out of my head. Every day is a little closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster. Don't make jokes like that, people.
Was the best of times, it was the worst of times. That goes under I.
That is really small for A Tale of Two Cities. Crowley, are you living in your car, my guy? That didn't click the first time.
How will our hero cope?
Oh, you like it though. You like the attention. I'm kidding.
Only the mightiest of archangels could have performed.
What? I'm already being press ganged into helping you. I have been threatened by a lot of demons before. You better leave me alone. Also, apparently his license plate says curtain, which is a reference to Terry Pratchett.
Surely come my way.
Oh, Maggie, Maggie, honey, crying without tears.
Granted, I then made a complete arse of myself, and she already has a partner.
I mean,
she hates me, and
she doesn't. She absolutely does not hate you. Maggie, that's a bit of a leap in logic, hun. She just was annoyed. She had a bad day, and she was worried. Well, I'm assuming that's going to be a part of the story, where they're actually going to have to communicate and talk about that.
They say every record they play eventually just turns into that song, which is mad, but they're Scottish, so...
Oh no. Well, that's not good at all.
What?
Oh, the archangels. The trumpets are playing, wearing the nicest suits.
Fancy meeting you.
Hi, guys.
Greetings. It's short for James, but I don't need to keep telling everyone that.
Oh, God.
Shall we discuss this inside?
Yes.
Do they not recognize him? Hey, Aziraphale, make your shop more accessible, bro.
The plume?
What plume?
Huge plume of miraculous activity last night from this shop.
Nearly 25 Lazarite.
Oh, so Aziraphale did. Oh, it's a Terry Pratchett book.
Maggie is in love.
Oh, Aziraphale, don't throw her under the bus like that.
So, the miracle was nothing to do with.
So they don't recognize him. They don't know that's him. Ooh, can you lie? Oh, don't squish that fly.
Don't I know you?
Don't I know you, mister? I believe she was in Sweeney Todd, the actress.
Open the door for you?
It's very, very...
I'm so annoyed.
They seem nice.
God, kill me. I know, right? Closer, going faster than a roller coaster. I'm gonna have to mute this part because YouTube hates me enjoying myself. Aziraphale's quite the artist.
Cherry for me, please, a large one.
So Aziraphale did fudge the miracle.
Mr. Fell.
Hi?
Hello.
Brown. From Brown's World of Carpets?
Okay, yeah, but you just took my husband's seat.
If I was a superstitious man, I'd have taken it personally.
So, this is why I keep it closed.
Oh, Mr. Fell's just been telling me how much he's looking forward to hosting our monthly Street Association get-together.
I hate it when people invite themselves over, and I hate it when people tell you that you will be inviting people over.
Your idea. It doesn't know how to conduct a courtship.
We've got a real problem.
Okay, yeah, no, we have the...
Do a little miracle, wiggle your fingers about, Nina falls
Okay, yeah, but we're not gonna do that without their consent. Yeah, exactly.
So, what are you proposing?
We fix it.
Oh!
You mean like a sudden rainstorm?
Maybe they have to share an umbrella? Maybe they go to a hotel, there's only one bed?
Get humans wet and staring into each other's eyes. Vavoom, sorted.
I think you're thinking of the wrong wet.
You remember Jane Austen?
Everybody remembers Jane Austen.
She had balls. Well, a trillion balls. I'll show you the record.
This is gonna be a disaster. They leave Gabriel alone for a long period of time. Bars don't look like that in the United States. Oh my god.
Jane Austen wrote books too.
Most people have hobbies that are different than their jobs, Crowley, even if that is brandy smuggling.
Think hard. What is the very first thing you remember?
Oh. It wasn't good, whatever it was.
Big enough, not anymore.
Not anymore?
I see. I'm sorry, Jim. But you've done awfully well.
Treating him with far more kindness than Gabriel ever did. He's looking for something.
Fury at myself.
Yourself? Why? What have you done?
I don't know.
The theme of long suffering, man. It is rife in this episode.
God, what? Are you sure?
Oof. Suddenly, this took a very Catholic turn.
Nice girth.
And a bit historically inaccurate, but we're gonna overlook that. It'll be fine.
That's the point. Surely the great thing about being a demon is you can do whatever you want. I get to do what God wants. I know the angel you were.
The angel you knew is not me.
Different now. Things have changed.
You look me in the eye.
Take off your glasses. I'm not reacting to this as much as I should. This suddenly got so much deeper. He spared one. He spared them all.
Stop grinning.
I'm not grinning.
Doesn't mean we're on the same.
Have you brought the wine Daddy prayed for?
We don't bring wine until the New Testament. That was weird.
Are you a demon?
Oh, she's good.
Yes, yes, she is.
What happened?
Yeah, I'm asking that too.
A mighty wind from the wilderness to smite the mansion and bring it down upon them.
The Old Testament would like a word with you, I think.
But can I be?
Okay, now you're annoying me.
Oh, sure.
Cute.
Are you drinking human wine?
What else am I supposed to do? We're gonna be trapped here with the storm. Well, I mean, wasn't Israeli wine? Sorry, the wine of Canaan made with plums? Or was that the wine of Babylon? I honestly don't remember all of my Old Testament knowledge.
Go on. Have an ox rib.
So Crowley gets to try a little bit of mercy, and Aziraphale gets to try a little bit of decadence. Decent barbecue, though. Aziraphale is a little bit gluttonous. A little bit of a hedonist.
You're a little bit on our side. Not even the littlest. So whose side are you on?
My side.
Because nobody is on my side. The thing about going against the grain is that not everyone goes with you.
I don't suppose he's getting any answers.
No. Just to be able to ask the question and get them to report back to you. But you give. They explain.
Only that you must have faith. Things are gonna get really, really awkward when we talk about Lot.
Prepare for your reward. Behold, where you have lost 300 sheep, the Lord grants you 600.
No limits, no boundaries. I see increase all around me. That's a joke for Protestants.
7 more children.
Golf claps.
I don't want more children.
I want
my
children.
I will curse God. Whoa!
Isn't Sidis punished, if I recall correctly?
Shoemaking and obstetrics. The twin passion.
I don't know what that is yet.
Reach into his robes
and pull out 3 lizards. Ow! 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 The ox rips. The ox rips. They just appeared. Oh God!
Was Eve a baby?
Was she?
No, they can arrive at any size.
And my boy.
Lennon?
No, this is your new son.
But it is.
A miracle.
A miracle!
Should look so much like our old son.
It is.
I know.
And then having a whole identity crisis.
Bloody is.
Shut up! Are you going to lie? Clouding authority makes Aziraphale very scared. That's not gonna be good. And the Archangel Michael came unto Job and said, "Look at my sweet-ass Jerry curl. God did not bless me with the proper wig glue. My edges have died."
Am I awful now?
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure that out. Really trying to sort out my feelings about my emotionally abusive older brother here. That definitely sounds like a Hell reference. Are we about to find out that she's...
My partner was not impressed. Well, not a pleasant evening. That's all.
She is not okay. I think we need to get her an occupational therapist, not a girlfriend.
The jukebox.
So what?
So first, it wasn't.
Aziraphale, honey, I really feel like you should have led with this.
In the pub. It is, as you might say, a miracle.
Oh, maybe he didn't flub the miracle.
Actually, I rather thought I might take the car.
You wanna come with me, friend?
Our car.
We
don't have a car. Of course we do.
Buddy,
Isn't she a
friend, old
beauty?
pal. Come on.
No, I can. I have a license. Yes, I passed my driving test 90 years ago. They didn't
No,
even require
do
tests.
not
I
let him drive the car. Do not let Aziraphale drive the car. The Crow Road. Ooh. He's having some serious conflict for having lied. He's got a lot of, Aziraphale coming in with that eldest daughter syndrome. Thinking he's already fallen. Hun, you only broke one rule. You're not gonna be punished yet. Oh, sweetheart. Lots of that look for
Nothing has to change, does it?
But something did change. A lot of things have changed. Wow, this is incredibly different from the first episode. You're the middle of the road, buddy.
That sounds... no, you said it wasn't.
I'm a demon. I lied.
I'm a demon. I lied.
There are some things you can't take back, regardless of whether anybody knows or not. Oh, wow. Okay. So this episode was entirely different from the first. I feel like I'd probably need to watch it a second time to catch all of the things that suddenly became much deeper, but yeah, wow. Another day, another fight with the prosperity gospel. That was a lot. I'm still turning this episode over in my brain because it was so different from the previous one. Now, granted, my brain is still trying to escape by way of my eyes. My head hurts really bad. Any piece of media, be it a movie, book, or TV show, mentions the Book of Job. The themes of patience, faith, and long-suffering come to mind. Job was like this really prosperous guy, favored by God, favored by those around him, and favored just, in earthly terms. He was rich, he had a big farm, he had lots of kids, and then all of a sudden, all of that came crashing down. And when he went to the mountain to basically ask God, like, why have you abandoned me? He was basically told, wait, be still and wait. I believe that's what the verse was. I'll put a text bit up here to see if I got it wrong, but essentially he is told, be still and wait on me. There are a lot of songs in particular. I used to be a part of a gospel choir as a high schooler. There are a lot of songs in particular who say, those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. A lot of what Job did was waiting and praying and hoping, and things eventually got better. And a lot of prosperity gospel churches use Job as a whipping boy, are basically like, hey, your life is suffering, but if you give us money and you wait like Job, you will become prosperous as Job did. Never mind the stuff you've lost in the interim. Never mind the suffering that you have to go through. Long suffering is the equivalent of it is what it is, because you can't really change it. You can't really change it. You just kind of have to sit there and be like, well, guess this is something else I have to deal with. Then there is also faith. Be still and have faith that I will make it better for you. I honestly don't know how that relates to Crowley and Aziraphale right now, but I can tell you that Aziraphale has always been able to wait on Crowley. He has always been able to essentially have faith in him and have faith in his friend, and that he will make it better in the long run. And Crowley has always come through for him. Crowley has never let him down. In season 1, Aziraphale was able to pay him back, sort of. He was able to stand with him in the end. The person who made it better in the end was actually Adam, and I kind of want a progress report on our kid here. Now, granted, the actor himself is no longer a kid. I believe he's 21 now. I imagine he'll be quite a bit different if we do check up on him. One of the biggest things about the Book of Job is patience and the knowledge that things will turn out all right in the end. But Crowley and Aziraphale didn't do that. They had to make it right. Aziraphale had to be convinced to put in the effort, but Crowley just figured that that's kind of just what you have to do. They really are no more knowledgeable as to what God wants than Job ever was. Gabriel even said in the beginning, most things turn out all right in the end. Most things. There are some things that you have to go out and make them right. I can't remember what reaction series I said this in. Sometimes it does not matter whether you have done the right thing or the wrong thing. What will matter is that you will have done something. You can't just wait. You have to take action. This goes back to what I said in the previous season, because humans aren't good or bad. They're not doing the right or wrong thing in this context. Bear with me for a minute. They are just silly little decision makers, and those decisions can either end in disaster, they can end up having the best case scenario. And at this point, Crowley and Aziraphale, I think, are at their most human because they're making a decision, and that there is no way to tell how it is going to end up. My head hurts. I'm going to go take a pill and lay down and think about this a little bit more because yeah, this episode got really deep all of a sudden. Good episode, but holy shit. Please like if you like this video. Please subscribe if you really like this video and would like to see more. If you really like me, you can find me on Patreon where you find full, uncut reactions that are posted the day before I put them on YouTube. And this doesn't just include my reaction videos. This also includes my analysis and the rewatches that I use for those analysis. I am trying to get back to Nirvana and Fire, guys. Trust me, I am trying to get back to it. I'm rewatching the first 25 episodes right now so I can remember everything that happened because holy shit, a lot of stuff happened. You can find me on 4 pieces of social media. I can't say any piece right now because after the long, slow exsanguination of Twitter, by the way, fuck Twitter, you can only find me on Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, and Twitter. We're not calling it X, okay? With that being said, stay weird, lovelies, and happy eating! I am ready to fight God. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was legitimately surprised by the response the previous episode got. Normally when it comes to reacting to series, no matter what series I do, the second episode or the second story arc after the initial one almost always gets the least amount of engagement. But you guys showed up and showed out. I was checking my comments all throughout my incredibly busy weekend, and let me tell you, I was legitimately impressed by all of the thoughts and the feedback and how you guys really seem to take to heart the theme of long suffering and patience that seemed to be espoused in the second episode. And I really appreciate that. What I love about my comment section, and you guys have been very mindful of the spoilers, which I'm very grateful for, but what I love about my comment section is that you guys always seem to be willing to discuss everything in a calm and reasonable manner. The internet is about the free exchange of thought, and sometimes that exchange of thought is more like an exchange of fists. When I picture my comment section, I picture spirited conversation over high tea because I'm bougie like that. Now, for those of you who know and for those of you who don't, my name is TK, your resident lunatic, and today we are watching episode 3 of season 2 of Good Omens. And I gotta say with this new direction that the series is taking, I kind of like and dislike the fact that it has this new character-driven direction. And you know, saying I like and dislike it is just a fancy way of saying that I'm quite ambivalent. I feel like this could have just been a whole nother show, but I'm not here to tell Neil Gaiman or anybody from Amazon what to do. Feels more like a spin-off. We have had neither hide nor hair of the 4 horsemen. No one's even breathed the word of the apocalypse. There's no real mentions of it despite like a smattering here and there. Are we gonna see Anathema? Are we gonna see what's his name? Percival? Pulsifer? Excuse me? That really makes me feel like Maggie and Nina have kind of been thrown to the wolves. I had to think about this for a little bit. And it seems like I'm not the only person who's noticed that Nina and Maggie's relationship, their chemistry seems to be a bit off. Now, this could be for a number of reasons. It seems like there was just a lot of things left on the cutting room floor. This is what I was afraid of, that we're going to introduce these characters and then cut the fat from their story because you want to make room for what the main characters are doing in the limited amount of time. Because it seems like a huge leap of logic for Maggie to just assume that Nina hates her after a conversation that they were sort of forced to have. You know what I mean? And maybe it's supposed to be that Maggie is very anxious, but it would be nice if we could see more of that. But when I first saw them, I was like, oh my god, they're so cute. I immediately shipped them. But the more they started talking, the more I wish that Nina's story was allowed to develop before Maggie's. Because I know they're trying to get the human parallels to the angel and demon that feel a bit more human these days, but it's not hitting like it should. Now, granted, it's only episode 2. I might just be overanalyzing. I might just be overthinking it. That's what this channel is about. I feel like they're throwing these characters under the bus. I hope there is a point to that, because if there isn't, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm gonna be a little bit frustrated. So this season has 6 episodes, just like the previous season. And I'm assuming, like the previous previous season that it's going to be a 3-act structure. I could be wrong, but one of my biggest fears, and I said this in the first episode before I reacted to it, that we're going to start asking a lot of questions that will not get answered by the final episode. Because the first season was a complete story. This second season is already starting to give me not exactly a complete story vibes, so we can justify a third season. It doesn't vibe with me, but however, I do understand it. So I think that's more of a personal gripe than anything. I don't think it's a fault of the show. I just think it's running up against a personal preference of mine specifically. My biggest fear is that we're gonna start asking all these questions like, what's the deal with Gabriel? What's the deal with bees? Are they somehow intertwined? What's the deal with Maggie and Nina? Are they going to get together? Do they have to get together to legitimize this newfound human facet of Crowley and Aziraphale's relationship? And how exactly has Crowley and Aziraphale's relationship changed? And how will these changes affect how they interact with each other? I'm really afraid that we're not going to figure that out by the end of the episode. And I think that's one of the reasons people have been clamoring for a second season of Yuri on Ice for so long, and it was very recently confirmed that there never will be one. There are a lot of whats, but there are not a lot of whys. And I feel like just blanketing them with, well, things have changed now that the apocalypse is no longer a thing, it feels kind of like a hand wave. One of the things that I think this show does wonderfully is show that these characters have just as many flaws as they do virtues. When you take a show that has a character-driven story like Arcane, they tend to show that the good tends to outweigh the bad, and if the bad outweighs the good, they go through the trouble of making the character at least charismatic. But this show doesn't really care what you think of these characters because they're angels and demons. They're above human perception anyway. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and I think that really adheres to the theme of the first season, where there are no good and bad people, there are only good and bad decisions, and that the worst decision you can make is one of ignorance. And I talked about this in the previous season. You know from jump that these characters, be it Crowley, Aziraphale, Gabriel, Beelzebub, Maggie, Nina, these characters will not make the right decisions. They will make some, but not all of them, which makes me think that what's going to happen at the end is that Crowley and Aziraphale are going to make a decision that is going to precipitate the disaster that leads the third season. So that's enough ranting from me, and since our headphones are already in, let's go ahead and commence with the drama, my friends. Okay, we're at the bookstore. Oh, we're with Gabriel. Aw. That reminds me of something. I'll put it in the text moments. I don't want to waste time talking about it now.
You make better coffee when you're happier, the girls notice. I'm perfectly happy.
Do we know each other? Are we friends? Yeah, you're my customer.
Save where it intrudes on my girls' welfare and quality in life from coffee.
Girl, what? All right.
One double Americano with
none of your business.
That's not on your face, Nina, love. Obviously.
Are we friends? Like, do you know me like that? Talking to me like that, bitch! And I am gonna have to mute this again. You're not making this easy. You should have kept the wheelchair around.
Hello? What's all this then?
Oh, Muriel, please.
I can unobtrusively monitor you without raising suspicion.
Yeah, no, He had another clueless angel to look after. Good lord. Muriel is immediately enraptured. And there's the box again. I'm not hallucinating. It is important. You're supposed to hold it, like, from the bottom. Yeah, they don't know what that is. They don't know what drinking is.
Look at mine for a while.
Yeah, slurping noses sound disgusting.
Who's this now?
I could have told you if you had not.
That's my name.
Of course it is.
Yeah, sure, sweetheart.
Yes, I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? Just, or rather, no. 200 years.
Oh, so close. Stop doing this to them. They don't deserve this. They're trying their best. Of course, they're trying their best for the surveillance state, but listen, they're cute, okay? Leave me alone.
I don't know how you lot have managed to stay in charge all this time.
I'm not sure we have we?
I mean, the humans kind of come up with their own ideas. We've established that several times.
That's how you lot measure miracles. How many times they could have brought someone back from the dead.
That sounds like the maximum miracle, so yeah.
One fabulous kiss and we're good. I have a plan.
Please don't take my car. Crowley is trying so hard to establish this boundary and it's not happening. What?
Out. Now.
Okay, so I got it wrong. I got it wrong again the third time. That's a reference to Monty Python, and I'm a jackass. Oh, this is another flashback. So this is what was going on Downton Abbey while Matthew and Mary were arguing over whether or not to marry. Is that Gabriel? I keep calling him Michael.
Marveling at his own beauty.
Nope, someone's definitely here.
This one's mine, you bastards.
Strange time to be burying someone.
No, I think they're doing the opposite. Now, I don't know what facet of history this has to deal with.
Now would you like a wee hand with your corpse?
I see David Tennant's using his actual accent.
This piss-drenched patch is where me and my pals sleep.
Crowley learns the pitfalls of homelessness. Someone is going hard on the coughing. That ADR, man.
You're going to hell, hen.
Damn! And neither of them care about the condition this poor child is in. My God.
I'm afraid, are evil. But people get a choice. You know, they cannot be truly holy unless they also get the opportunity to be wicked.
That only works if you start everyone off.
Everyone off equal. Yep. Poor Elle is being talked about like she's not here.
A classical music that stays classical music.
What are you doing?
Why are you listening to NPR in my car? The ashtray? Ew. As much as cute as this is.
But it's pretty. If you don't change it back right now, I'm gonna start selling people books. In fact, I might even give some away.
As cute as this is, that's definitely supposed to be like a blatant sort of crossing of boundaries. Like, it was funny, but once again, Aziraphale goes too far. Crowley gives him specific rules, and he doesn't follow them because he doesn't super want to. And not because he wants to spite Crowley, but just because he wants to do what he wants, essentially.
No news of a cursed enemy, my lord.
No? Tell me the moment we learn.
Oh, okay, Bees is worried. Okay, this is what I was thinking. Bees and Gabriel are like doing something, or like trying to do like a plan or something.
Rip out my tongue again.
I don't care, just be quiet.
I'm trying to change my abusive behavior because I went to therapy. I think Gabriel took me to therapy. I think that's the plot twist we're looking for here. Maybe you should take them to the dentist next.
Because the Earth is the largest thing around.
Why?
You made it that way.
It seemed like a good idea when we were all talking about it. So...
Don't squish that fly. That fly is very important.
Sudden downpour. They're back out of the rain, bump into each other, look into each other's eyes, and ba-boom.
Some of y'all have told me in the Patreon comments that Crowley might be projecting a teeny tiny bit.
I was determined to thwart her monstrous plan.
No, she needs money.
And I'm afraid I must insist.
What do you want? Oh, come on, Mr. Dalrymple. It's not brain surgery.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
You did this, didn't you?
Just an unexpected blessing.
Yeah, I'm dying. My friends are dying. We're all sick. We need the money, you fucking dickhead. And Crowley isn't really doing one better either. You could really just miracle her friends into a better state of being, you two.
You're both medical men. What is your professional opinion on that, Doctor?
This is the weirdest Am I the Asshole post ever.
My professional opinion.
You're clearly eating the bodies because you had a whole ass dinner table.
Is he? And that is why we need a steady supply of cadavers. We need to cut. If we can't cut, we can't learn. If we can't learn more, a lot more, then how on earth are we going to win the battle against monstrosities like this one?
That little moment there with Aziraphale, that made my heart clench a little bit. Look at you on a little adventure. Oh! Well, look up who Dalrymple is while we're doing this. Oh dear. Yeah, Don Dalrymple was a real person. Okay, I was just making sure. Oh god. Aziraphale's on a little adventure.
Nothing to get the skinny lowdown on that mysterious song that played itself on your establishment's jukebox.
Alright, take it easy. Alright. Aziraphale.
Listen, I serve hundreds of people a week. I'm not gonna remember some...
I remember John Hamm, though. He has the squarish jaw known to man.
But you were right. Body snatching alleviates human suffering. That is a good thing. So, I can help this time.
I don't trust you.
Or you can just miracle her into better place.
Big thumbs up from me.
Why would they give a shit?
And then... boom.
Oh. I was honestly expecting Morag to be dead when they got back. Well, she's definitely gonna die now. Every time an old-timey London street person gets injured, they die of being dead disease. Now, they were just doing their jobs. A little bit.
This is all my fault.
Yes, it is. I'm glad you realized that, though. Oh, she's already dead. Y'all took too much time talking. And the whole time, I'm just sitting here like, you could have just helped her. If you wanted so badly to steer her in the right direction, why didn't they just do that?
Well, what if you fetch the cart?
People gotta do what they gotta do. Aziraphale. Gray morality is not for you, sweetie. Sit this one out. You don't see this shit.
I'm so sorry about your friend.
Yeah, I fucking bet you are.
What did you do that for? You'll kill yourself.
I don't know, this kind of stuff happens in hell all the time. Okay, noted. Cyanide is how to actually get Crowley drunk.
Life isn't worth anything, and then monsters like me come and dig you back up.
I have to stop.
Yeah, you gotta do this one by yourself, Azazzy. Just put him in the hat. I think you're a little bit discombobulated. This episode's kind of all over the place. Nope, too big.
Crowley, there really is no need for any of this.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Unless, how much have you got in your wallet?
About 90 guineas.
That should be enough. Give her that.
You 90 what?
Give her the money, Angel.
But what am I gonna do with 90 guineas?
Buy a farm and be good.
You could have given me this money the whole time?
Well, they'll surely have noticed downstairs.
There you go. I'm sorry. The thought of a statue of John Hamm is fucking laughable to me.
Mostly I just use it for Twitter.
Answer it. I'm sorry.
I think I found some clues.
Okay.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what happened to him? Well, he left Edinburgh in disgrace.
I do want to throw out there that it probably wasn't, it was probably migrants and people of color that he butchered. I just want to throw that out there.
Blessings be upon you. And your phone. And
Oh shit, that's a new one.
Thank you.
Aziraphale's having the time of his life.
The other night. But can we talk?
You guys do need to talk. You need to be friends. At least.
I don't really know what's going on in your life, but I know that whatever happened the other night, I didn't look us in.
What? What is this conversation? When have they interacted where she thought it was her fault?
I'm not angry with you.
She's not.
It's not about you.
It's not!
I mean, I've never... Well, we didn't. It was the power going out.
Yeah, my significant other didn't understand that.
Suppose I owe you an apology.
No, you don't.
Why?
I'd never... I'm not that kind of person.
I know. I'm not your type.
But you are. At least hug. Come on. Is it working?
That could have gone better.
A little bit.
Our booming was not the end result of that particular tempest.
Wrong kind of wet.
There will come a tempest, and darkness, and great storms, and the dead will leave their graves and walk the earth once more. And there will be great lamentations.
Okay, we're pulling from the Book of Revelation now.
It's getting closer.
We know that. That already happened, though. I saw that. You better bring your ass out here. Oh, Bee's unhappy? Well, that's news to me.
Yeah, not gonna happen. So, just excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Beelzebub and the Dark Council and all the forces of hell will declare war on your friend.
Shax is blowing smoke out of her ass.
You have no idea the trouble you're causing to you.
No.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's too late for that now, isn't it?
A little bit.
It's always too late.
Interesting. Okay. That was a very interesting episode, and I gotta look up some things and then we'll talk. Okay, I did a little bit of Googling. I'm not sure who Mr. Dalrymple is supposed to be. The surgeons that I looked up didn't match up with what I saw in that episode. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, that episode was kind of all over the place. It was trying to do a lot of things at once. If the previous episode was to show Aziraphale the joys of life, then this episode was showing Crowley the value of it. That what's most important is the effort. And there are a lot of caveats as to why that does apply and why that doesn't apply. I'm not gonna go into it, because if I did, we'd be here for hours and I don't have that much time to edit. This episode showed me that despite how human these two can seem, that they're still very much not. They know more about humans than the average angel and demon, but they don't know that much. They could have just given her the guineas the whole time. That would have negated the lesson this episode was trying to whatever, is that they had this whole debate about what's good and bad and white and black morality and gray morality when they just could have solved the problem. And I think that's what we as the human observers are supposed to take from this episode, is that as much as Crowley and Aziraphale know, and as human as they seem, they're not, and they really don't know that much. They know enough. After what Crowley did with Nina and Maggie, Crowley is starting to show that he's getting desperate, because Aziraphale could be in danger. He doesn't know why Gabriel's here. He doesn't know why Shax keeps bothering him. And Shax says that, oh, Beelzebub is looking for you. And ever since their last conversation, Beez has kind of left him alone. So he doesn't really know what's going on. He doesn't know what Aziraphale is up to, and he's kind of letting him get on with it because he always comes through in the end. And then you have Gabriel, who he's just kind of babysitting at this point. And I think the things that Gabriel is talking about aren't as big as they're thinking that they will be. Because this story is more character focused, all of these Bible verses that he keeps pulling out of his dissociation moments, I think those things have already happened or aren't going to be as bad and as world-shattering as Crowley and Aziraphale think they are. If there was going to be a second apocalypse, he would know. I will say that this episode was trying to do a lot at once, and I don't think it necessarily succeeded. It really did seem kind of all over the place, and to be honest, the conversation with Nina and Maggie seemed to be a fucking leap in logic, where she was like, you're acting like what happened was my fault. I didn't lock us in. And it's like, when did they have that conversation? When did Nina ever hint that it was ever Maggie's fault? This is what I'm talking about shows being too goddamn short. A lot of what Maggie and Nina are talking about seems to be left on the cutting room floor, and it's driving me insane. It does seem like kind of a petty gripe, but it is a gripe nonetheless. I hope that it remains small, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be a little upset, and we're gonna have a repeat of Our Flag Means Death. But while I'm talking about Our Flag Means Death, when it comes to the relationship between Crowley and Aziraphale, Our Flag Means Death could definitely learn something from it. Aziraphale is missing the entitlement that Steed had, and I think that's why I prefer these two, their dynamic, much, much more. After watching 3 episodes of this, that was not my favorite, but I'm sure it will improve. I have faith in this show, as I always have. Now that we're at the halfway point, I will save the theories for next episode about how this is going to end. I will say that I am taking September 1st off, because that is my birthday week. I plan on taking that week quite easy. I already told you why in the community tab, but with that being said, please like if you like this video. Please subscribe if you really like this video and would like to see more. And if you really, really like me and would like to support the channel, you can find me on Patreon, where I post full, uncut reactions the day before they go up on YouTube. And this doesn't just include my reactions, but also uncut versions of my analysis videos and the rewatches I use for those videos. You can find me on any piece of social media, well, 4 pieces of social media right now, because I don't have my Blue Sky invert, because fuck Twitter. I know I haven't been on TikTok lately. Look, I'm getting to it. And with that being said, stay weird, lovelies, and happy eating! So I didn't get to finish everything I wanted to do on my break last week, but we're together. That's what matters, right? I hate Twitter because I was gonna film this hours ago, but then I saw something that pissed me off and now it's like a whole thing. And listen, you guys probably already know what it's about because it's the first thing I've posted about in over a week. All I'm going to say is that there are some things that happen even when you don't want them to. You can't necessarily stop those things from happening. And if you try to, the experience for you is only going to be worse. So I implore you to think about yourself and think that maybe if you don't want someone to say something about it, you just don't put it out there. That's all I'm going to say about that. We're moving on. Now, for those of you who know, and for those of you who don't, my name is TK, your resident lunatic, and today we are watching episode 4 of season 2 of Good Omens. And thank you guys for waiting patiently while I took my little week-long break for my birthday. I had a lovely birthday. The week wasn't as relaxing as I had hoped, but that's only because life do be lifing, because life is like that sometimes, and everything turned out for the best, so we're all good. In our last episode, I have to admit it wasn't my favorite for a number of reasons, but mostly because of the way Crowley and Aziraphale were talking over Elsif's, I think that's how you pronounce her name, were talking over the street urchin's head. The episode just seemed kind of all over the place, and even when I watched it a few more times, I was still like, compared to episodes 1 and 2, this wasn't the best. And it seemed like some of my complaints really resonated with some people in the comments, specifically when it comes to Maggie and Nina. Individually, they're great, and as a concept, their romance subplot is incredibly charming, but it loses all of its potential because it seems like a lot of their character development was left on the cutting room floor. Now, you guys have explained that this is for a number of reasons, COVID restrictions, scheduling snafus. That's fine, but not knowing any of that going in, I keep using the phrase thrown under the bus, but the phrase I'm going to use now is being robbed of their agency. It just doesn't vibe with me. I get it, I do. There are just some things that you can't do because of outside situations, but that doesn't make it not disappointing. While I understand that some people have a problem with my stance on that, I'm cool with being the asshole. Going into the show, anything that happened behind the scenes, the story and background provided for them is still inadequate to me. Now, I will say for every one person who agreed with my complaints, there were 2 people who absolutely did not. And, you know, that's fine. You guys were really nice about it and very respectful. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. I really don't have a problem with it. Something that seems to pop up more and more that has been bothering me lately is that a lot of people seem to think that the previous episode was about Crowley trying to lead Aziraphale in the right direction. And I think that sort of limits Aziraphale's agency as a character. Aziraphale is still able to make his own decisions even when he's bad at it. I don't think Crowley was trying to lead Aziraphale. What they say, you lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I didn't see that. What I saw is Crowley wrestling with the idea that life has value. And the only way the person living that life can acknowledge that is if Aziraphale does something. Episode had just as much character development for Crowley as it did for Aziraphale. I really don't see Crowley in that moment as sort of like a guide for him. I think he was more lording it over him until he realized that they can actually do something about it. There also seems to be a little bit of confusion about the kind of biblical knowledge I have. 1, it's minimal. 2, it's mostly Protestant. I was not raised Catholic. As a matter of fact, I was raised in a lot of Southern Baptist churches or non-denominational later in my teenage life. In those churches, you're often taught that angels and demons are actually active participants in God or the devil's army, and they interact with humans directly quite a lot. In Catholicism, they're more like silent observers, trying to guide you or misdirect you. I'm gonna be honest, that went absolutely over my head in the 3rd episode, so if it seemed like I didn't understand that concept, I didn't even realize it was a thing. Now, that knowledge does help me understand episode 3 better. Does it help me like it any better? Maybe not. That's besides the point. It does help me realize that that is when Crowley decided to develop a sense of self outside of what hell wanted from him. He already knew deep down that what Hell wanted wasn't what he wanted. Remember, he was ready to cut and run to the ends of the universe just to avoid the whole debacle. However, Aziraphale is not allowed because heaven is constantly up his ass. Even when he tries to spread his wings, metaphorically, and relax, along comes Gabriel with this broken prophecy that seems to be talking about stuff that has actually already happened. It is hard for me to draw a conclusion on those facts alone, I'll be honest. Crowley is a lot more accustomed to choices than Aziraphale is. Then that means when Aziraphale is presented with a tough choice, he will not be able to make it, or someone will make it for him. At the slightest incentive that things will turn out for the best, he will go for that decision. And that is the only conclusion I can draw from right now. To be honest, I have puzzled over this for a while. I have recorded this particular section of conjecture for about the last 45 minutes. I don't like being flummoxed like this, but I also do like it because that means that the story is trying to challenge the viewer to think. And oh my goodness, I could go on for hours, but I won't because I don't have that long to edit. But with that being said, let's go ahead and put on our headphones and commence the drama. I left my headphones in my bedroom. I'll be back in a second. Oh, this doesn't look good. Oh, is he heading back?
I'm so late. I'm sure someone will stop.
Where did the bullet holes come from? Did I miss something? This is episode 4, right?
Just to the next town. There's a garage there.
I suppose you'd better climb in then.
Did I miss something? Oh, it's Shax. Okay.
I knew you couldn't resist somebody in distress.
Well, you stopped in front of him.
You think he would have upgraded sometime in the last 90 years, but no.
No, some people have favorites.
You have the advantage of me.
I do, yes.
I feel like he might be a little older than her.
Now Hell's ambassador plenipotentiary to this corner of the planet.
This is feeling very litigious.
Crowley's got Gabriel, hasn't he?
Subtle.
Crowley is hiding the angel Gabriel.
So close. So close, Shax. So close, baby.
Why Crowley should risk destruction for you?
Oh. Well, I'm a little bit his type. It's fucking...
Gabriel, where would he put him?
That's a good question.
Gabriel would never go to Crowley. He hates Crowley.
He hates you.
Gabriel doesn't hate Aziraphale that much, apparently.
I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't either. I've missed a couple things.
How did I tell you where Gabriel is?
You didn't. You have now.
He still didn't, though. Good job, Shax. You found out precisely nothing. I mean, I guess they found out context clues, but that's about as good as it's gonna get. 1941. Yeah, and we saw this in episode 1. I mean, not episode 1, I think it was episode 2, but season 1. Regardless, we know this already. Sirens like that are the single most terrifying thing. Regardless of whether they're tornado sirens, some sort of warning siren. It taps into like a very primal fear.
Oh, I forgot all the books.
See what I mean?
Left home.
Oh, Mark Gatiss is still alive. His writing career might be dead, but he's still alive. I do like the idea of hell being an eternal line, waiting for something that never happens. All the Nazis in hell. That's a nice touch. Need to get a better compression valve, bro. Or just be faster.
Could always put in a word for you.
Why? Oh, Shax is trying to get dirt on Crowley specifically, and is recruiting agents. Which is kind of odd, because they kind of depend on Crowley now, because they don't seem to know what to do. I guess they were never formally trained, because it's Hell. Hell needs a dentist.
Well, there must be something I can do for you. In return?
Forget it, will you?
You draw more attention to it, the worse things are gonna get.
Bravo! Sophocles, Shakespeare.
People are dying, Aziraphale. Well, I mean, that's his character flaw, right? Speaking of Crowley, you guys have been telling me that I've been pronouncing his name wrong. It's my accent. It's probably not gonna stop anytime soon.
Real sissy type. A proper figure.
Oh, Jesus.
In a church, on hallowed ground.
He didn't like any of it, to be fair. No, don't.
Don't you, Mrs. H. me, you cheeky sod. I paid you for 40 bottles and I bloody well want them.
Damn.
Has just been arrested as a deserter.
No, put your hand down. No, last time there was a magic act, there was a lot of secondhand embarrassment. Put your fucking hand down. Azzy, honey, you're not as smart as you think you are.
Don't worry about that. I recently qualified as an authorized miracle blocker.
You stop all that very easily, but
That feels like a ticket to a hand wave, but I'll get over it.
a clicker.
I'm telling you, hell needs a dentist, man. I'm sure there are lots of dentists in hell. I know the one who did my root canal better be.
Commandant Glux.
Seems like a fair punishment. Just saying.
As newly inculcated members of the undead, you will experience periods of bloodlust which you will have to satisfy.
So, some brains are gonna be eaten. I hate zombies. Even when played for laughs, I still hate zombies.
It is sure to please.
This feels like a cameo.
I am so sorry.
Oh, whoops.
All right, I'll say it. I'm starving.
Well, time to get ate. Didn't y'all just watch a man get his brain ate? Come on. I guess you can't have an apocalypse story without zombies. Lots of head ripping in this episode.
I'll be honest, that wasn't unpleasant.
I mean, it wasn't for you guys.
Chickeny.
They say it tastes like pork. He was drunk! I mean, come on. That was meat marinated in probably brandy. And brandy from the 40s.
He's repeating on me. Sorry.
That was a bad joke. I know this is supposed to be funny. I hate zombies. For a number of reasons. So this episode seems to be more of a flashback than anything else.
Aha! Professor Hoffman's modern magic.
This is going to go so badly.
To Mr. Fell, that's me, a wonderful student.
He said wonderful, not good at
I'm an expert lip reader. Hand me those.
Apparently you couldn't invest in curtains.
For instance, turning a common turnip into an inkwell.
Okay, well then do that.
Banana.
Fish.
Banana fish. Oh no! Oh god! Sorry, that's not a good joke.
Nutmeg.
Banana, fish, gorilla, shoelace with a dash of nutmeg.
Zombies aren't too good at lip reading, I suppose.
But that's a trick for close quarters, you know? What you do tonight has to be bigger.
Or, Crowley, you could just tell him to not. You could just tell him to not.
Well, there is Will Goldstone's magic shop. But
That's probably a better place to be.
If that doesn't make you a professional conjurer, I don't know what does.
Crowley, this is not the time for leading Aziraphale in the right direction. You need to be frank with him. I feel like we're about to find out what Crowley meant by it's always too late. Oh, Nazi's so excited. I just don't see this ending well, because his magic act in the first episode, in the first season, was not great. He said hand it to him. How do you refill it?
Well, a sort of natural dexterity.
The amount of dread I already feel.
Now, if I gather up the ends here and collect all of the unequal ends here, and they all stretch to become exactly the same length. You see, the big piece is the same length as the medium-sized piece, and the short piece is the same length as the other two. There's the long piece, there's the medium piece, and there's the short piece.
I was really hoping we would see Maggie's, like, great-great-grandfather, or great-grandfather in this case. Oh, no.
No. I'm afraid that's not for
No, that's a little advanced.
And another £4.15 shillings for the
Aziraphale is in over his head.
In case I get into a scrape.
Oh, he likes the novelty of it.
On your head be it. I mean, I have warned you.
Yeah, I mean, you signed the waiver. I mean, shit. Oh.
As a demon, you must have fired off a lot of guns.
No.
I'll do it.
Oh.
But if anything, neither of us wants the paperwork, do we?
Shake on it, Azzy. Come on, you asked him. Oh, wrong ring. Ew, the noises they make is really getting to me. Oh, this man's about to get his brain. Yeah, he was just doing his job. Respect retail employees, please. This is a very small stage for a West End theater in the 40s. I really don't want to watch this. This is gonna be awful. Azzy, honey, are you sure you're doing the right thing? Of course he's not. Oh, Christ.
Is anyone here familiar with using firearms?
Azzy, they're all soldiers.
We just need a little check.
The other way. There you go.
Miracles.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh god. Why do I have such a pit in my stomach?
Into an inkwell.
That's just a regular turnip. This is so sad. Oh, please.
Meet a stubborn. So.
Like, oh shit, I gotta start reading this better.
A round of applause for this total stranger.
Yeah, see, now you're in trouble, Crowley. See, this is when you ditch, leave, hit the bricks. If shit sucks, hit the bricks. You can just leave, go.
Now, sir.
When were Polaroids invented? It doesn't matter. Why am I being so picky? Oh, this is their problem. They never talk about shit, and it's always a recipe for disaster. Oh my god.
On my signal, fire the rifle at my head, and in that explosive moment, I will attempt to catch that bullet in my teeth.
Martin Sheen has such a winning smile. Like, he just has such a great smile. When he's on camera, he's just so charming. Even when he's playing a very, very odd vampire. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This woman has gone through a lot. I actually don't fault her for being so mean. She's a theater manager in the middle of World War II. I'm talking because the suspense is actually killing me. This is actually quite a lot. Aziraphale always comes through in the end. Why did that make me so uneasy? If I was the theater manager, I'd be like, y'all get out of here. I don't want to see either of y'all faces ever again. Get the hell out. Aziraphale trusted Crowley, and Aziraphale came through.
Oh no, we've never had the pleasure, but we have. Haven't we?
Have we? Have we? You're from Requisitions, bro.
Just before the fall? Doing dubious battle on the plains of heaven?
Yep, bro, I don't remember high school, alright?
Fell the Marvelous, aka...
Aziraphale. Poking fun at all the people who couldn't pronounce his name before the show came out. Because I sure as hell couldn't.
The miraculous bullet catch requires the use of a trusted stooge and confidant.
Where did you get that booklet?
Maybe you should spend less time gloating, my guy.
I'm Crowley. Shall we? Oh, we shan't. It's ridiculous.
Thank you, Crowley.
And somehow still getting on, while demons like me graft for hundreds and hundreds of millennia and never get a sniff of a promotion.
To be fair, you don't necessarily seem super great at your job.
Well, you can't leave us like this.
You need to make us into living humans.
No, we're litigious here. We didn't say. We said freedom from damnation.
Mike, you alright?
It's not.
Hey, there are vacancies in temptation.
Shax, are you setting homeboy up for failure?
There was a miracle blocker in the room. I saw you put it back in the envelope. Who needs a miracle when you've had private lessons?
Rolled 20 on the sleight of hand check. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate.
And?
Well, only when you're under pressure, I guess.
Shall we retire the act? Perhaps.
Until there's an 11-year-old's birthday party.
I knew you'd come through for me. You always do. You said trust me. And you did. That's the trouble with you lot. You tend to see things in black and white.
I'm lawful neutral, bitch.
Shades of dark grey. Shades of very light grey. I rather fancy.
So I can't dip into the moral complexity too much, but you know, I'm willing to like dip a toe, dip a toe, dip a hand, a little bit, dab. There's one thing about Shax. She does have a sense of fashion. Definitely determined.
State your business.
You're not exempt from the rules.
Or I will rearrange your vital organs and hang them on the wall.
Sounds like, you know, par for the course for hell, but we did see a man get his brain repeatedly eaten for an eternity by a spider, so...
Maybe they want us to think Gabriel's in Edinburgh.
Shax is so brutally misinformed.
No, he's not in Edinburgh. Why not? Because he's in the bookshop.
Oh, never mind.
Now that we've located Gabriel, what do we do?
Mind your business.
You are hereby authorizing me to storm the Angel's bookshop, sending wave after wave of demons to besiege it until it falls and we capture the Archangel, destroying anything and everything that stands in our way.
No.
No. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. That sounds ridiculous.
I'm commanding you to do it.
Oh.
I can do that.
Sorry, the teeth are a little bit like a jump scare. Hi, Nina. I see we're doubling up on patterns today.
Now go back to where I parked you.
Okay. Sorry. Break up.
Very uneventful journey indeed. No strange things at all.
No, tell him. Tell him. This is important. This is very important. You need to tell him what happened.
Any more clues from the mystery of the missing Archangel?
Not exactly.
Oh my god, the fact that they're not telling each other these things is wild to me. Guys, they're both trying to do this noble thing where they're protecting each other from the information they just found out.
And I can guarantee you, it will be a night to remember.
Yes it will. If my reaction to this episode seemed at all more subdued than my usual ones, it's because there was a lot more to pay attention to. If it seemed like I was rambling through certain parts that were supposed to be suspenseful, it was because I was desperately trying to take the edge off because I was actually quite nervous. Even though it seems like there are things that are very small, details that are very small, things that shouldn't be that big of a deal, they are, because the situation is just so dire, potentially. And you learn about Aziraphale in this episode is that he's sneaky when it counts. And we learned this in the previous season, right? That when it counts, he comes through. The only reason why he seems flaky is because he can be very cold. He seems to miss more of the finer details that are very, very important. That moment is when they finally started to trust each other implicitly. They can both be destroyed if either side finds out that they're hanging out with each other. So they also have the need to protect each other. They often justify not telling each other what's to come because they feel the need to protect each other. I do have to note, if Crowley knew what was up with the car, wouldn't he have been able to know that Shax was in it? That's something that just occurred to me. Maybe we'll find that in episode 5, maybe it's a plot hole, whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but trying to figure out what is going on between Gabriel and Bees. And it was really weird to me that he was not shown this episode, because at first it seemed like they were genuinely concerned for Gabriel. Now they seem to be like, well, launch a whole army of people on the library. I don't quite know what they're planning, and I know that they're supposed to, and I just would have thought that I had guessed by now, because I thought that perhaps with the fly in the box that Bees was maybe keeping an eye on Gabriel and sort of putting up a front. That was my theory anyway, but it seems to be something different. To be honest, we're not supposed to know until the penultimate moment. I'm just a little disappointed in myself that I haven't been able to guess by now, so I hurt my own feelings. I did like this episode much more than the previous one. I don't think the zombies were terribly necessary. I understand why they did it, but I just hate zombies, so my personal biases are getting in the way. There were a lot of things this episode needed. Nazi zombies were not one of them. Regardless, I like this a lot better than the previous episode. This episode seemed to really put into perspective Crowley and Aziraphale's relationship and how in the modern era that it has drastically changed. With that being said, please like if you like this video. Please subscribe if you really like this video and would like to see more. If you really, really like me, you can find me on Patreon, where I post full, uncut, uncensored reactions the day before they go up on YouTube. So when I post on Friday, they go up on Thursday, and the rare occasion I post on a Wednesday, you'll see them on Tuesday. You can find me on any piece of social media: Tumblr, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, but mostly Tumblr because TikTok sucks and fuck Twitter. And with that being said, stay weird, lovelies, and happy eating! Despite my uterus's best efforts, I am still alive. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who asked after me. This isn't atypical. This is something that tends to coincide with my monthlies. While it is getting somewhat progressively worse, we are dealing with it. This isn't really anything out of the ordinary. It does happen occasionally if you guys have been following me for a long time. But regardless, the way you guys still show concern for me and the way you guys are so patient with me, it really means a lot. So thank you. Now, for those of you who know and for those of you who don't, my name is TK, your resident lunatic. Lunatic, and today we're watching episode 5 of season 2 of Good Omens, and this is the penultimate episode. And in our last episode, we found the origins of Aziraphale's failed magic act, and there was a comment that was talking about how it was so climactic for being something with very low stakes. And while the magic act itself was very low stakes, they honestly just could have hit the bricks at any time. It's not like anyone could have found them. What made it so suspenseful, this is the moment their trust in each other became implicit. And that's a big step for any relationship, where you can just automatically trust them to do what they need to do, or trust them to trust you. As things stand, that trust means a lot more to Crowley than it does to Aziraphale. Mostly because Aziraphale doesn't really understand it. Because Crowley comes from a place where there are lies and machinations and power struggles. In Aziraphale's world, there might be a power struggle, so to speak, but everyone in heaven is at the very least honest, sometimes even brutally so, most of the time. He doesn't necessarily understand how important that implicit trust is, or should be, to him. It definitely is to Crowley. He might put a little too much faith in that trust, as shown in the previous season, I believe in episode 4, when he told Aziraphale, hey, listen, we can go to the farthest ends of the universe and we can just hang out there. And he didn't react well when Aziraphale was like, no. This just affirms that this season is going to end in disaster, despite the spoilers that I got in my previous videos. Now, because this is the penultimate episode, I think what we're going to see here is the hope spot. And this was a phrase coined by places like TV Tropes, which I have a very complicated relationship with, but that's another story for another day. During an action scene or during a show, there is a small inkling or a small moment where it seems like everything might turn out well, right before everything falls apart in the worst way possible. Now, this happened in Arcane, where Jace finally realized that he's actually part of the problem. This happened in Word of Honor at Guxiong's wedding, and it happened in Our Flag Means Death right before Steed left Edward at the dock. Those shows, specifically, just like this one, are all character-driven stories. What I'm looking for specifically in this episode is for Maggie and Nina to have any kind of agency at all. It seems to undermine the point of the first season, where Anathema burns the prophecies, and then to come back to the second season and have Maggie and Nina essentially not make any decisions of their own. I might feel some type of way about it, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I hope they find some redemption in this episode. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't like it, and it feels very, very unfair. And then there's Bees and Gabriel, and I know I keep calling Gabriel Michael. It's because John Hamm looks like a Michael. I don't have a lot of logic when it comes to that reasoning. Just bear with me, okay? I'm pretty sure Bees and Gabriel have some sort of connection. Knowing how they paired everybody off in the first season and how they're pairing everybody off in this season, something's going on. They're not the enemies they seem to be, especially after the third episode, I want to say. Bees was clearly concerned. Whatever Beelzebub is planning, the story is gonna have to do some yoga type stretching to get it to make sense. Now, granted, that just means the story is doing its job, because we're not supposed to. It's supposed to keep us guessing. I hope they wrap it up in this episode and not try to extend it to the final episode. Although I won't be as disappointed if they don't as I would be with whatever is going on with Maggie and Nina. And once again, I left my headphones in my bedroom. So once I go get them, we will come back and commence with a drama, I promise. Okay, we're back with Shax. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound. Yeah, I can make the same joke twice, except this time I won't get copyright claimed.
Demons.
Yeah, he don't care. Are there any killers in hell anymore? Because they all seem like bureaucrats to me. I will say, the bookshop is quite idyllic, very dark academia that the people love these days. As you can tell by the green, I'm still in my early 2000s gamer face. Harpsichord?
I trust we'll see you there with your harpsichord.
He don't want to be there. Yeah, nah.
A 1965 Doctor Who anime. The 1965 annual was indeed never printed, due to problems at the BBC.
I know, I work for the BBC.
You'll let me look at it?
I'll even let you sniff it.
Maggie and Nina are depending on...
Are they?
Just don't know it yet.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Bloodthirsty demons.
Are you haggling?
Don't tell anybody.
This guy does not care, Shax. Also, once again, are there any bloodthirsty demons left in hell? They all seem like bureaucrats. Oh, this place is still the same.
No circumstances.
This man is so well dressed.
A first edition of S.W. Erdnäs's Expert at the Card Table.
Aziraphale's making sacrifices, I see.
It's not for sale.
Are we really doing the Fez again, David? Put it down. Actually, no, it wasn't Tennant who did the Fez, was it? That was Smith, right? It doesn't sound like Mandarin. That sounds like Cantonese.
Greetings.
This is the worst all-hands meeting I've ever seen.
Our mission.
Weren't you disintegrated?
A legion's like about 6,000 demons.
Yes, I know.
This a work meeting. One more. Didn't Bunny Ears get disintegrated in the last episode? In the last season?
Ferocity and danger.
Shax, you're not super charismatic, are you, bud?
To storm a bookshop.
Yeah, that sounds riveting.
I speak fluent English. I've been living here for 15 years.
She don't like you. Marguerite is not about you right now, Aziraphale. You know what the energy Aziraphale has? Well, actually, he has the perfect vibe because he is one. An older person who runs a very specific kind of store, and they have tried really hard to identify with all of the customers that come in, and sometimes it just doesn't quite hit.
Whittering on about the plume of your imaginary taunt.
Bravo. Just enjoying the show. Are they going to talk about the Christmas lights? Because I have things to say.
Nina is not there to make friends.
You've been together long?
What?
It certainly looks like that from here.
You guys are always together.
He's not a bit on the side. Far too pure of heart to be anybody's bit on the side.
Oh.
And then again, other people's love lives all seem so much more straightforward than our own.
Girl, break up with her. Oh my god. Is there an occupational therapist somewhere on the street? Can they come to the party?
What is he?
You just need to print out an itinerary, honey. Alright, there, and he gets vaporized again. Bunny Ears has a kink for getting vaporized, I see. Skip intro, because it's like 2 minutes. Come here.
You've got an amnesiac archangel hiding out in your book.
Who we haven't seen in 2.5 episodes, mind you.
Smited?
Smoke. No. Well. I saw that, Aziraphale. You ain't slick, bitch.
Have you thought of just talking to him?
Have you? Did you really? Did you see that? Okay, so it wasn't just me. Hi.
You tried to destroy him.
I don't remember that.
No?
When you have to confront your spouse's abusive sibling.
I was there.
Oh.
When you told my only friend to shut his stupid mouth and die.
See what I mean?
And I did not care for it.
Yeah, no shit.
You're making him risk his entire existence for you.
Oh, dear.
Crow, honey, are you a little jealous? Yeah, he's gonna actually do it.
Well, if you're really not him, what are you?
I think this is what's left of him.
A house. Yes, a house. Someone lived for a very long time, but now they're gone.
There are actually quite a few people who describe memory loss as that.
Where is your memory then?
In a matchbox.
Oh, it's all coming together!
If it happens again, it will make it seem like it's an institutional problem.
He's remembering parts of the plan. Look in the box. Look in the box. Look in the box. I said it's all coming together. They're so cute. I'm sorry, they're so cute.
He's definitely not in the shop. Does that count as a lead? It's just.
I mean, yes, it does, actually. Learning where they're not is definitely a lead.
But I don't think I saw him.
His assistant? He doesn't have an assistant.
No.
You met the assistant.
Does he? Does he? Didn't we meet a
Okay, I was like, that's weird. Yeah.
That's Aziraphale himself. He likes books.
Did y'all forget already?
I don't know if it helps, but at one point, Mr. Fell and the traitor and the demon had a secret meeting about what to do next.
It was a secret. I wasn't there.
Oh, I didn't listen. They said it was private.
I knew that was gonna happen. Muriel does take everything literally.
You're really nice.
Don't thank me. And I'm not.
No, but you're good. Jim's condition really is quite similar to memory care.
You're up to something, I can smell it.
Yeah, he's been up to something all day.
Wait and see. Any idea how irritating that is?
Yes, it's so irritating. Oh my god.
Perhaps you could check in on Nina and Maggie and make sure they are on their way.
Or you could just explain things to him, Aziraphale, and things wouldn't go as badly as they might go in the next couple of days here. Pretty. Okay, and here's the mean lady. Oh.
What exactly is it that they do?
Stand on their own 2 feet, like the government said.
Jesus. Maggie, do you have something planned? Yeah, no one ever said it was a party.
Something's wrong. Well, lots of things are wrong right now.
Yes, accurate.
You're weird. Do it.
I'm gonna do it just to get away from you, fucking weirdo. Cute. Doubling up on patterns again, but cute.
Tonight is a meeting of the Wickworth Street Traders and Shopkeepers Association, and we all are partaking of the hospitality of Mr. Fell.
Who is living a fantasy right now.
Well, it wouldn't be a Shopkeepers Association meeting without dancing, would it?
What's going on? My friend said I was in danger, and now I'm in here, and you're all acting.
I just had a thought. Who is Nina?
Just wanted to talk about the Christmas lights.
Someone's wishing everything was simple. Oh, Maggie. Sorry, the masks were funny. COVID restrictions. Oh, cute.
I'm a seamstress.
Indeed, a worthy craft.
No, I'm not a seamstress.
I'm a seamstress, like an accountant. She's a personal accountant.
But that's extra. And all the girls do.
I just realized that's good. Now, is this Aziraphale's doing or their doing?
We're having a ball. I've got to talk to you, it's important. I'm afraid I'm hosting a business meeting.
Okay, no, Aziraphale, this is important.
Have a volleyball.
No, this. Crowley, come on! And in the back, Tom Wamsgans is just sobbing with his hands up in the air.
Why is everyone talking like they've escaped from Pride and Prejudice?
Just getting into the spirit of things, I suppose.
The spirit of what things?
What we do, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
Now I'm really worried. Crowley's freaking out, and I don't blame him. I can now really see the effects that COVID had on the production. I definitely can see it now.
It is seldom indeed that our little village has the fortune to welcome one so amiable, so genteel, and if you will allow me, sir, so well made.
And bedazzled. I feel like John Hamm might have pulled that out of his closet. Oh god, the mouth noises. Please cease and desist. Really, this is all Aziraphale's ever wanted. Did they all wait for Shax to use the elevator? Shax said, I ain't taking no damn steps.
Not having a very good day. My partner, Lindsay, has gone.
Was it my fault?
What? No.
Lindsay was not good for you anyway.
She liked me very much. Well, I know I'm hard work.
Oh, no. A partner should never say that to you. A partner should never say that you are hard work or hard to love. That's so fucked up. Oh my god.
Perfectly safe in here. Technically, this bookshop still counts as an embassy.
I think you need to stop this charade, and we need to work out what to do.
I am not giving them Jim.
People will get hurt, Angel.
I think you're overestimating how much trouble we're actually in.
Angle? Yeah, spelling not their strong point.
No, I'd say.
Might I remind you that this bookshop is technically an independent embassy.
And this is when the angels show up and immediately cancel it.
And as such,
you're an outlaw, Aziraphale. You have no protection.
Really doesn't.
I have a legion of demons by my side.
You have a very large group.
50 seconds.
Ah!
Want me, don't they?
Yes. Be honest.
Send out the angel now, or everyone in the bookshop gets it. I mean it.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. I'm Gabriel. Shax, you're blowing it, bud.
Yes, they sent out the angel, Gabriel. No. They're toast. T-O-S-T.
Toast has an A in it.
Who are these people? What's happening?
We don't know. Honestly, absolutely, we don't know. We don't know what's happening.
I'm not stupid. I have permission.
Do you?
Engagement Clause 112, subsection 3. Civilian non-combatants must be given sufficient time to evacuate the area of hostilities. I mean, Aziraphale can put in a formal complaint to the Dark Council of the Dukedoms of Hell if you want.
In D&D, devils are the bureaucratic ones. Bees definitely set Shax up for failure.
I'm calling the emergency services.
Where's your service?
The door frame, you can't cross it.
Oh. 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 Did we really just kill the bureaucrat?
I want Mr. Sandwich up front with me. Nina, Maggie, you take the rear.
Maggie, come on. I'm not leaving him to face them on his own.
Who are you two? Because now I'm starting to have doubts. I'm trying to cross my arms, but my microphone's in the way. Who are you guys?
Happy anniversary.
I thought we were going to the hotel buffet.
You're a good lad.
Not actually.
Yes, you are.
Why didn't you go?
I want to know what's happening.
You're in danger.
None of this makes sense.
You're in trouble, and we aren't leaving you on your own.
We aren't in danger. Crowley will be back in a moment. He will have a plan.
Why don't you stand up for yourself? Make your own plans.
I am. But rescuing me makes him so happy.
That was a weird thing to say, Aziraphale.
You're an angel.
I know, sweetie.
It's all right, officer. I'll come quietly.
Where?
Crowley, I think you're doing too much, bud. Yeah, but rescuing him makes me so happy is it does make Crowley feel like he's Aziraphale, makes Crowley feel like he's accomplished something after what's essentially a lifetime of aimless temptations. Okay, so oh my god, there's a lot to say about that, and I missed a lot. I'll be honest with you. I missed a lot initially. Hopefully, during my second viewing, I'll be able to expound on some of the things I missed. But, remember when I said the hope spot and how this is all gonna end badly? It's about to end very badly. So that was a lot, and I have a lot of questions that I'm really scared will not be answered in the next episode. But first off, let's address the, I guess, elephant in the room, which is the room itself. A lot of people are going to look at the diversity, the different gender identities, and nationalities and races that were represented, and kind of sneer at that. And listen, I would like people to know that this kind of forced diversity is just the world. People like this exist whether you have a problem with it or not. People with different gender identities and different races and nationalities are going to keep being in your fantasy media. You can either get with it or die mad about it. But that's besides the point. What I'm seeing here is Aziraphale, besides not knowing how to make his own choices, doesn't know what it takes for people to make their own choices. I say weird vibes because it's not explained. Can angels manipulate free will, or can they not? It's the common pitfall of a soft magic system, and yes, it is a magic system because this is still fiction even though it is satire. The show itself is kind of struggling to stick with its own rules at this point. I understand. I do. It is just a petty gripe. The whole thing about soft magic systems is I personally don't like them. I prefer hard rules, hard lines, so I know what goes where and for how long. I still didn't see a lot of agency from Maggie and Nina, which was really disappointing. This episode was very, very short. I was expecting it to be much longer, or it felt very short. It did raise an interesting question with Maggie and Nina, where I don't think their awareness is plot armor. I don't know. This episode left me with suddenly a lot more questions than answers. That line, rescuing me makes him so happy, Aziraphale does have a point, but it also shows that Aziraphale has maybe taken the whole implicit trust thing a little too far. To be honest, I really don't have a good way to describe it, and it's because I'm not able to see the 6th episode. And I get that it was supposed to be funny. Also, it seems to me that Aziraphale doesn't know what it takes for Crowley to save him. Like in 1941, Crowley went into a church, which is incredibly dangerous for him. Crowley is about to go to heaven to rescue him, and that's a lot. That's something that he's doing at a huge personal cost. That isn't something that's entirely Aziraphale's fault, because Crowley doesn't talk about how much it takes for him to save Aziraphale. He never explained how badly hell punished him when he helped him help Elseth. I don't know how to pronounce that, I'll be honest. Crowley went into the church and burned the entire time. Crowley rebelled against heaven and drove through the actual ring of fire to get to him. So, Crowley never explained to Aziraphale, like, hey, this shit hurts. I honestly think that Aziraphale probably would have thought twice if that is something that Crowley would have explained to him. Or maybe Aziraphale truly is just that selfish. And I feel like we're not going to know until season 3. I don't like the fact that it's constantly, well, we have to wait till season 3 to get it. Well, we have to wait till season 3 to get it. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of you guys disagree with me when I say this. It feels like Pirates of the Caribbean. When the second movie, the second season, whatever is in the middle, all it is there for is to set up the main plot of the 3rd season. I'm not gonna lie, this season suffers a lot. It has a lot to prove, and I'm not sure if it's done that yet. We'll wait till episode 6 and see if it does. Right now, I do like season 1 better. I'm putting a lot of hope in episode 6 being able to pull this together, but I'm not sure if it can. Please do not take this the wrong way, as in I do not like this show. I do like this show. It's incredibly charming. It's far more complex than anyone ever gives it credit for, it seems. And it is a very deeply emotional story that I really love, but it has suffered somewhat. Could have been COVID, could have been the writing process, because you know this was on the eve of the writer's strike. It could be anything, but it has suffered. Everyone involved in this project and everyone who's watched this project is clearly incredibly passionate about it. And I don't think Amazon has given this show enough credit or enough of a chance. I think when it comes down to it, my issue with the show is Amazon itself. Not necessarily the show, not really the writers or the actors, but mostly Amazon. It's always Jeff Bezos' fault somehow. I don't know how, but it's always Jeff Bezos' fault somehow. I did like this episode, but the problems with the show are more evident in this episode than any others. Regardless, please like if you like this video. I really hope you do, because I had a lot more negative things to say than I thought. If you really like this video, please subscribe. And if you really, really like me, you can find me on Patreon, where I post full uncut reactions the day before I put them on YouTube. So when I post on Friday, they're there on Thursday. And on the rare occasion I post on Wednesday, they're there on Tuesday. You can find me on any piece of social media: Tumblr, TikTok, Twitter, and what's that last one? Tumblr, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, but mostly Tumblr and TikTok, because TikTok sucks and fuck Twitter. And with that being said, thank you for watching. Stay weird, lovelies, and happy eating. During this series, some of you have remarked on the very odd way I eat apples. I have no explanation. Just a heads up, because this is the last episode and I have a lot of thoughts. The intro and outro to this reaction are going to be pretty long, so I'll put the timestamps up and I'll try to put these into chapters, but just letting you know ahead of time. So this series wasn't supposed to take me this long, but last weekend I went back to my hometown to celebrate Dr. Dad's birthday. We ended up with a whole bed set. So we had to move a lot of stuff from my room into this room. I don't want to tell any secrets, but whatever mess that was behind me is now just behind my desk and just out of camera. This might look like order and peace and clean, but I assure you, anywhere beyond this camera is absolute chaos. Now Now, for those of you who know, and for those of you who don't, my name is TK, your resident lunatic, and today we are finally watching episode 6 of Good Omens Season 2. And you guys have assured me, have guaranteed me, have told me over and over again since episode 1 that episode 6 will make everything make sense. And I'm not super sure it's gonna live up to the hype, but I do trust you guys. So, you know, I had the same complaint about Our Flag Means Death, which was the last episode, didn't do the show justice, and it ended too quick. This episode seems to be, one, quite a bit longer than most of the other episodes. Definitely longer than the last episodes, a whole 10 minutes, which you can put a lot in 10 minutes in a show. I'm really hoping that this show can give some, the word I want to use is restitution. I'm not sure if it's the right word. Absolution, that's the word I'm looking for. We'll give some absolution to some of the complaints that I've had, because especially when it comes to Maggie and Nina and a lot of the side characters having very little agency, it really has been bothering me, and to me it's been bogging down the show. In the last episode, Aziraphale said something that I said didn't sit right with me, and that was, but rescuing me makes him so happy. I finally figured out why this didn't sit right with me, and someone actually made this comment. I think it's because Aziraphale loves the dance that they've had to do over the years so much. Like, rescuing Aziraphale is pretty much the only chance he and Crowley really got to interact. They don't have to do that anymore. Things have changed. The rules of engagement have changed, and I don't think Aziraphale quite grasps the concept of change. Now, this is the nature of his existence, of course, because there was a whole treatise about it in the previous season that, you know, angels and demons are timeless beings and therefore do not know what change is. But Crowley, who spent a lot of time around humans, I think he on some level understands that humans are changeable because they have to be, not because it's just what they do or because they're doing it on a whim. And one thing that struck me during the party scene, Maggie said, well, I'm getting into the spirit of things. It's just what we do, isn't it? That to me still says that Aziraphale doesn't understand humans. Still, after all these years, after everything Crowley has explained to him, after living among them for millennia, he still doesn't really get it. I mean, to be fair, Crowley doesn't get it that much either, but I still think because he exists in sort of this gray moral space, that he has a better understanding of what humans need than Aziraphale does. Now, Crowley is tired of the dance, and just as well, because once again, things have changed between them, their situation has changed. He clearly wants to share, I don't want to say a deeper connection with Aziraphale because it's clearly very deep, it's like a millennia long. He clearly wants something different than what they have now. Something a bit more clear cut, something with a few more answers, something where he is with him all the time. Because Crowley always has the desire to watch Aziraphale do anything, really, not just to keep him safe, but just to watch him. Sometimes when you're deeply in love with someone, sometimes you just like to watch him do stuff. Sometimes when the almost husband is within eyesight, I just sit there and I'm like, oh, he's so pretty. I get it. But has Crowley communicated this at all? No. Neither of them communicate with each other. And I firmly believe that if they had both sat down and discussed things with each other, put it all on the table, lined up the stories that Shax both told them, realized that Shax is full of shit, if they had just sat down and figured that all out, which they absolutely could have because they both have all the information the other needs, none of this would have happened. They would not have to put up with this. But I'm assuming that that is what Bees and Gabriel are counting on, because once again, I'm pretty sure that whatever is being planned, they're in on it together, because why else would Bees be looking for him? Now, I am not the only person who said this. I also know that a lot of people do not like it when people say this, but Good Omens Season 2 does not feel like a Season 2. It feels like a spin-off. The difference between Season 1 and Season 2 2 actually feels quite drastic, especially with the shift from a story-driven story to a character-driven story. Those are two very different feelings, because a story-driven story, something is coming, we need to stop it. The character-driven story is something is coming, we don't know what it is, we need to figure it out. Going on a quest and solving a mystery are two very different stories. Let's go back to Vox Machina, for instance. Vox Machina, especially episodes 3 through 12, are a mostly personal story. Percy essentially going on this deep emotional journey to avenge his family, but the second season is more, this horrible thing has happened, we need to stop it from getting worse. And that's more of a story-driven story, and both of those seasons have very different moods, and I kind of have the same opinion. Now, this might just be an affliction of Amazon shows in general. There are a lot of things that I liked from season 1 that aren't in season 2, but there are also a lot of things that I hated in season 1 that I'm glad are not in this season. For instance, the narration. As witty as it was, as great as the actress is, you guys know that narration is one of my least favorite things, and that I believe that narration is a cop-out. I get it that there are some things that had to be explained, but I am glad that it is not in season 2. However, I enjoyed how cinematic and wide it felt. I enjoyed a lot of the stylistic shots, but in season 2, instead they put the stylization into the set and the lighting. Everything feels a lot more intimate. The lighting is a lot warmer, and there are a lot more shadows because they're trying to figure out a mystery. It's supposed to be mysterious. I don't like it as much as the previous season. It really feels very different than the first season. Now, one of the biggest departures, at least for me, from season 1 is the laser focus on Aziraphale and Crowley's relationship. Crowley, you guys know what I mean. It's not gonna change. I do love putting their relationship under a magnifying glass, but coming from season 1, as someone who didn't read the book, I got the impression that those two knew that the bond they had between each other was love, and defined that love, perhaps maybe not so conventionally, because they're honestly large and incomprehensible beings. I was under the impression that they understood the nature of their relationship. However, coming into season 2, it feels like that understanding has been retconned a little bit. And I said this, I think, in, I want to say the first or second episode when I was talking to some commenters, that, you know, Aziraphale and Crowley could have a little bit of retcon as a treat. So it doesn't necessarily bother me as much, but something that I've noticed in a lot of these stories where it has characters coming out later in life or middle-aged characters coming out. And while Aziraphale and Crowley are technically ageless, these stories do resonate with a lot of people, but in the end, they end up feeling a bit sanitized. And mostly that is because of corporate meddling and a lot of my issues with the writing of Aziraphale and Crowley, especially because how their character flaws seem much softer than they did in the previous season. Like Aziraphale, while he is still selfish and cold, it always seems to work out in everyone's best interest. And Crowley, while he does tend to make drastic decisions, it always seems to work out to everyone's benefit, or he's always doing it for a good reason. They feel like someone looked at the first draft and was like, no, they need to be nicer. Because what a lot of these shows do is that they boast, you know, their representation and the inherent queerness of the story, and then they blow it at the end by not giving any of the characters agency, never finishing their plot line. That was really my complaint with Our Flag Means Death. My complaint with this one is they wanted to please a lot of people, and while I believe that they could have, I believe that there were too many moving factors for them to do it successfully. Now, does that mean that this is a bad show? No. Does it mean that I'm not enjoying myself? No. It means that there are some things that I don't think either the showrunners, Neil Gaiman, or the actors could have fixed. When in doubt, blame Jeff Bezos. For some reason, I can never do right by my headphones, so once I plug these in, we're gonna go ahead and commence with the drama. Alright, we're betting it all on black. So we're quite literally back where we left off. Crowley.
I'll need 8 battery-operated candles. They're in my desk drawer.
Okay.
Will you just answer a simple question?
If I hear one, of course.
This all started last week when the power went out, didn't it?
But to answer your last one, no.
No. It started a very long time ago. Yeah.
It all looks so simple in Jane Austen.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Not. You are not welcome here.
All right. Aziraphale standing up for himself. I mean, I always knew he could, but... No, I can't. Yeah, I was like, why did you let him in, hun?
It's fine.
It's not.
For Snape.
Yeah, you still don't look like an angel. That was the most nonplussed reaction I've seen to getting hit by a trash can. Girl, that thing was metal.
You might be invincible, but you're still stuck out there, and we're in here.
Get some salt. Get some salt. Ew.
I've spent my life being scared of things.
How do we know that?
Please, Maggie. Yes.
Thank you.
You posture bravely because you are in there and we're out here.
Yes, actually.
Look at you. You run a shop nobody visits.
How do you know all this? Apparently I am a big deal because you, invincible demon, know everything about me. Yeah, fair. Most people will.
You want to come in here and say that to my face?
Ooh.
I think I might have just told them they could come in.
Get back here now, fast. Please.
Yeah. Come back. You weren't supposed to welcome them in.
Is there anybody there?
Oh wow, I'm actually genuinely shocked that that worked. I'm still waiting for like that to go to voicemail. Bunny Ear's getting vaporized again. Or Eric, I think that's his name, which is a hell of a name for a demon. I mean, there's also Inuyasha and Shishomaru, so you still don't look like an angel.
What have you got on Gabriel?
Man, if I could do that.
You'd have to be a throne or a dominion or above.
Well, isn't that convenient? That was cool. Sorry, why does heaven look like an Apple store? I mean, he did warn y'all. I would personally have to call it a day. I'd just go.
So what's your plan?
Well, that was it. I didn't have another bit.
It seems to be working.
A gateway, but if you step into it and you aren't prepared, it can discorporate you completely.
Does what you say make sense in your head?
Yes, actually, because it's kind of my whole world. Oh, are they trying to restart the apocalypse?
Amen.
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 Nah.
Yeah, I don't feel like it. I was on Earth for a while, it's alright.
So I'm not gonna answer so much. But you feel free to knock yourself out with all the asking.
I'm sorry, that was shady as hell, I loved it. Oh, there they go. Shax, you're getting embarrassed, babe. Get a stick, just poke him into the hole. I'm about to say, see? Direct action.
It doesn't sound like him at all.
People can change.
Muriel, you're the last person I'd expect to see collaborating with the enemy.
Y'all don't ask me to do something anyway, so I'm just here, I'm bored.
I'm going to have to take severe measures.
Aziraphale.
I'm with Nina on this one.
You need more big human meals, Aziraphale.
Shall we send up the sous chef?
You're really not as good at mind games as you think you are.
Jim, go to your room. You'll be safer there.
Good night. Does anybody want any hot chocolate?
I'm not gonna lie, Gabriel's pretty hilarious in this one. Y'all embarrassing. Like, y'all getting embarrassed. Also, that stuff is super slippery. There will be no fire, but you will bust your ass.
For one prince of heaven to be cast into the outer darkness makes a good story. For it to happen twice makes it look like there is some kind of institutional problem.
Ah, it is definitely a broken system, but we'll get to that later.
These clothes
Are not appropriate.
got it. Well, I'll just need to take off my clothes and clean out my desk then.
You have a desk.
Yes, I do.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was said with so much attitude. You have a desk. Yes, I do.
Encyclopedias? It's all online these days anyway. Oh, if you must.
Make some sacrifices. You can clean them off. And there's the matchbox.
Going down.
Why did his whole body tense up when the elevator went down?
He doesn't have a desk.
I mean, Muriel gets a desk.
Memory wipe now. But without him here. Good idea.
Oh.
I can't find his memory anywhere. In fact, I can't find him in the building.
No, you're all just going to have to find him, that's all.
That was probably the worst decision you could have made.
Desperate measures must be taken.
Oh, is that his halo? Oh, that really was quite painful. Sailor Moon is quaking. Don't, Eric! When will you learn your lesson, my guy?
What did you just do?
I just started a war.
I may have just started a war.
They all look so disappointed.
I did the thing with the halo.
You what?
Yeah, what?
You blew up your halo. Oh, hell won't like that.
Nope, here they are. But that means Bees is here!
Finally!
Nobody's at war.
Shut up!
Those idiots there want their archangel back so they can fire him.
It's true though. Shax! What the fuck? These absolutely set Shax up for failure. Oh wow. They're so small.
Sarcasm, yes?
Yep.
I'm afraid so.
You blew it. Angel! Gabriel! Now!
Yeah, we did a thing, hiding miracle. Apparently if we do a miracle together, it all works a bit too well.
Careful. Could be a trap. It's a cardboard box. It's not going to bite you.
Shut up!
You're writing a message, probably to yourself, on the bottom of the box. I am in the fly. What fly?
What fly, bees? What fly?
Come on. Good boy.
That was actually kind of cute. Oh, he's not gonna eat it, is he? No, we're not gonna do a Baldur's Gate. Cease.
10 million angels to stand down from their war footing it doesn't bear thinking about.
You should try to get 10 million demons to put down their weapons and go back to work.
How about we just go?
It is.
And also, if I recall correctly, the original actress's husband passed away of COVID.
There you go.
That's someone's fetish.
Well, if we're going to have background talks, they can't be in either of our home territories.
Also, they have really good pizza.
Utterly ready. Armageddon, here we come.
Armabloodygeddon.
The real enemies to lovers.
Well, you lost.
So did you.
No, we didn't.
Well, you didn't win.
Tell me about it.
Oh, rivals to lovers, I guess.
It's a pity we'll never speak again.
But then...
Most of my demons live for Armageddon, if you can call that living.
Well, my angels too, but you can't always get what you live for.
Woof. Jesus Christ. Alright, just fucking drop that nuclear bomb of a line.
That's music.
I like it.
Anything that's slightly different is devil's music, apparently, so I know a lot about it.
Agreement concluded. No need to ever meet again, is there?
But our lips could meet in the middle.
Let there be light. I think the sculptor really caught something.
It's a very good likeness.
That's your Jerry curl.
Sometimes I come here for hours and just look at it.
A lace with a case closed.
Whichever one it is you humans usually orally consume.
2 pints of regular.
I was about to say, 2 beers then. Jesus. Alright, Gabriel. Sorry! You look like a Michael. John Hamm looks like a Michael. Fight me! Oh my god, please just cuddle.
Is that... Did you...
A small mirror.
Oh, I have a feeling it wasn't so small.
I should give you something.
A kiss. Or at least a hug.
It's a container, so it's bigger on the inside. You can put things in it.
It's like a little fly TARDIS.
I don't actually know what to say.
Why not?
No one's ever given me anything before.
Oh.
Michael Uriel? Don't tell me.
I won't.
I won't.
Seraquiel. Yes, I knew that. Of course it is.
Oh god, it's like having your shitty boss back.
Well, I think the Aziraphale probably took much better care of you than I could have done.
Collaborating with heaven.
I didn't collaborate with heaven any more than Gabriel collaborated with hell.
It's almost like we're ourselves and have our own agency and make our own decisions, Shax!
Enough to make you believe in true love.
Aziraphale.
What are mortals doing here? Someone turn them into pillars of salt.
Seraquiel,
I'm on it. No, that won't be necessary.
No, and also please don't.
Nina, you come with me.
Leave.
Just don't tell anybody about any of this.
And you can keep the clothes.
Some of us have been working all night, you know.
Oh! Oh!
But I remember.
Okay, good. It was just the binder. At least, hey, it was the binder they crunched, not the person.
Unless you'd like some help.
Could you
Come on,
down
Nina.
Minibar and pick me up some cream, oat milk, soy milk, and almond milk?
I'm on it.
There we go. Aziraphale is not handling it.
You will speak, one at a time.
Thank you.
That you hand over both Gabriel and Beelzebub as gifts for Satan, our master.
What authority do you have?
Obviously, we would be reserving the option to send them both to hell as our punishment. But we'd be the ones doing it.
This is just politics.
Beelzebub, what do you want?
to be not here.
Hell will send all its legions to hunt you down.
With what authority, Shax?
Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey.
At least someone gets their happy ending.
I can. Bored of living in my car.
Something just clicked for Aziraphale. I saw that. Let's just say we don't like each other like that.
Let's find out, shall we?
Was that a sneeze?
Order accurately and fast. I haven't slept in 30 hours and I will not hesitate to mock you if I don't like your order.
Same.
Well, the name of your establishment. Give me coffee or give me death. I assume they always ask for coffee.
Okay, Metatron, we don't have time for this, man.
In the absence of Gabriel, I am the Supreme Archangel. Duty officer.
Uriel's so sick of them.
And who are you?
Who do you think I am? The literal voice of God.
Literally, you don't know me.
You didn't see my cameo in the previous season, bitch?
Of here.
Really?
Subtitles are definitely giving it away.
Have we done anything wrong?
Well, that remains to be seen, does it not?
Oh.
It's just you and me, Aziraphale. Huh?
And Crowley and Muriel.
Need to have a bit of a chin wag. Don't you?
Metatron talking to him like he's a disobedient son.
Your coffee. Are you going to take it?
Are you going to take this clearly empty cup?
Shall we take a little stroll?
Go on. They can't get any weirder.
Metatron is about to offer him that ultimatum that I've been talking about.
We are going for an extremely alcoholic breakfast at the Ritz.
It's not gonna be that easy.
Us time.
Just us, not you.
No, right, yeah, we haven't made friends yet, Muriel.
Can I take a book with me? I was looking at one earlier. They're like people, only portable.
That's a very Neil Gaiman line.
Anyone wants anything, tell them we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So she is speaking Cantonese, I was right! It isn't gonna be as easy as Crowley thinks. They're taking a long time. And Metatron isn't necessarily known, biblically or in any other mythos, to be entirely kind.
You and your partner have been messing about in our lives.
Thank you! Oh my god!
When I'm ready, I hope she'll be there, but there isn't any guarantee. There is.
We need counseling first. Wait a second!
The soft one who still believes in magic and people being basically good and all that.
Also, I don't think that's true for Aziraphale at all.
We talk all the time. We've been talking for millions of years.
No, you don't talk. Thank you. Oh my god.
Well then, go and tell your friend the good news.
I heard that musical sting. I heard the bass. Whatever he's about to offer, he's fucking lying. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure if that whole her calling Maggie Angel thing was just to show how similar they've become, or that was like an actual slip of something that we'll have to be aware of.
What a perfectly splendid thing to do.
Please don't let anything bad happen to Muriel. Protect them.
I know we ought to be talking about it. It's probably best if I start off doing all the talking, you do all the listening, because I don't start talking now.
No, I saw that glare. I saw that glare Metatron gave him.
Well, I think I might have misjudged him. You see,
I don't think you misjudged him.
Might be considered irregular, but it would certainly be within your jurisdiction to restore your
Okay, but that doesn't make sense. If Crowley is
angelic status.
come back to heaven and everything like the old times.
Oh my god, this is why you two needed to talk.
And you told him just where he could stick it then?
Not at all.
This is why you two needed to talk. Oh no. Oh no.
They asked me back to hell. I said, no, I'm not rejoining their team. Neither should you.
But, well, obviously you said no to hell. You're the bad guys. But heaven, well, it's the side of truth, of light, of good.
Neither truth nor light are inherently good or kind.
Oh God, right, okay. Right, I didn't get a chance to say what I was going to say. I think I'd better say it now. I could always rely on you. You could always rely on me. We're a team, a group. Group of the two of us.
A couple.
Our existence pretending that we aren't.
Ooh, the voice crack.
And I would like to spend
Oh, the sound of the clock ticking down.
We don't need heaven. We don't need hell. They're toxic. We need to get away from them. Just be an us. You and me. What do you say?
Come with me. To heaven. I'll run it. You can be my second in command.
Oh!
Oh, Crowley. Nothing lasts forever.
No, that's what it does. Good luck.
Good luck? Crowley.
No, you made the decision without him.
Work with me.
We can make everything better, and I know where Aziraphale is coming from this, but it's not good. He's like, did you forget everything I taught you? Did you even ask me? Did you even talk to me? Just like I was going to say to you.
I understand.
I understand. I don't want it.
I think I understand a whole lot better than you do. Listen. Hear that?
I don't hear anything.
That's the point. No nightingales. We could have been us.
Y'all didn't see when y'all spoiled the kiss. Y'all didn't tell me that it would be under this kind of duress. I'm stressed as fuck.
I forgive you.
You could have said literally anything else. When you finally realize you've had what you wanted the whole time.
How did he take it?
Bad! Metatron knew he wasn't gonna take that. He was trying to get them to separate anyway.
Anything you need to take with you?
Crowley, I need to take Crowley with me! If it cuts to Crowley crying, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I think
I knew it. The minute he has to make a big decision, he was going to punk out. I knew it.
An angel who is familiar with how they do things on Earth. We call it the second coming.
Ooh! Oh! Azzy baby, you fucked up. You fucked up.
Doors closing. Going up.
And Metatron is a manipulative asshole. Metatron knew Crowley wasn't gonna take that. I took your advice, Nina. It sucked. If he cries, I'm gonna lose my shit. Oh. Oh. Oh, that was unnecessary. Where is Crowley even gonna go? Aziraphale is cooking up a plan. I'm looking at Aziraphale is cooking up a plan. That's why he has that look. Like, I'ma bite them back. But baby, you don't understand how bad this situation's gonna be. Okay, alright, okay, give me a minute. I knew it, I fucking knew it. I knew that when Aziraphale had to make a big decision, that he was going to either make a gigantic leap, or at the last minute, he wasn't going to be able to make the decision, and it would be the wrong one, whatever he chose. I knew it, I saw it happening, and then when it actually happened, it was, oh, I felt that. Oh my god. That, I will say, that last couple of minutes was definitely a huge gut punch, and I will say, it pulled it off beautifully. Like, you had this whole build-up. Aziraphale and Crowley might just understand each other. After all this time, they will be on a level playing field. They'll be able to talk face to face, and yet still heaven or just their environment all together interfered. And I knew that when it came to making a decision or having to come up against an ultimatum, Aziraphale would not be able to make that decision. He was essentially bullied into it. I don't care if Metatron was being nice, okay? Clearly the way he glared at Crowley, because I heard the music, okay? I knew that shit wasn't good. He had no intention of taking Crowley up with him. Although I do wonder what Metatron's plan was, if Crowley had said yes. When it comes to the second coming, I'm assuming it's alluding to the second coming of Christ, where essentially it's Jesus Christ coming back to essentially illuminate all the sins of humanity. To my understanding, now I am a Protestant, so could be different. The second coming comes after the Holy War, and then the 1,000 years of peace follows. Aziraphale fucked up, and I'm seeing the look on his face here in end credits. Aziraphale is probably already cooking up a plan to essentially get Crowley back with him. I'm assuming what's going to happen is Crowley is going to have to break things down and be like, Aziraphale, this is what's going on. This is what needs to happen. Truth and light are not inherently good, and these angels are purely self-interested, just like hell. Impartiality is inherently unfair. I think deep down, Aziraphale wants to be impartial because he still believes that humans are essentially puppies and that they all want to do good, and eventually they will if given the right direction. And we know as humans that that's not entirely true. No human is inherently good or bad, but there are a lot of humans out there who grow to want to do bad things. I think Aziraphale truly wants to be impartial. He truly wants that again, because when faced with turmoil, he's lost. It causes him a lot of pain, and I think he wants that, but it's just not possible anymore. And I don't think Crowley knew how to deliver that, and whatever happens next, I'm quite sure that he will know now, and he can't be nice about it. This season, despite its faults, did live to that gut punch ending, especially when the Berkeley Square song, y'all, I almost teared up. It was good though. Solid. Now, my gripes with the show, I said it mostly in the beginning, but a lot of my issues with the show do seem to have to do with a lot of corporate meddling, and once again, a lot of issues with COVID and budget, and then the writer's strike, and I get that, but not knowing any of those things, I do imagine someone watching this and being like, what's the point of this? Especially when it came to Maggie and Nina and Gabriel and Bees, because the mystery leading up to Gabriel and Bees got sewn up so quickly. Don't get me wrong, it was cute. At the same time, it's like, I am wondering why Gabriel and Bees couldn't have just taken the place of Maggie and Nina. I am wondering that. And what I mean by that is, I personally think that the show probably would have been a lot more succinct if Bees and Gabriel were both posing as humans and the audience could recognize them, but Crowley and Aziraphale could not, just like the angels couldn't recognize Gabriel at first. The reason why I say Maggie and Nina are such a weak spot in the series is because they don't seem to have any agency, and they do call this out by the end. They're not angry enough for me. You also still don't know anything about them. Like, of course, we didn't have to see Rachel to know how bad her and Nina's relationship was. I mean, we could have at least heard a voice. We could have seen what made Nina fall in love with Rachel to begin with. Anything. Honestly, but we didn't get any of that, and that's why I feel like they were sort of put on the chopping block, sort of like lambs to the slaughter. I don't want to say they would be better off written out of the show. I don't see them coming back next season and being able to contribute anything, because they didn't give us anything. In any other show that gave them any sort of backstory, they would be a really cute couple. Man cannot survive on bread alone, you know what I mean? As far as how I would rate this season, probably the same as the first season, about a hard 7. I can't even say I like season 1 and season 2 better at this point. I like them pretty much equally, and I have different complaints for different seasons. And right now, the pros and cons kind of match up evenly in number, so I think I'm gonna say that it'll hard 7. As far as what this show is asking us, what is love? There are a lot of answers for that. There are more cynical people who will say, well, love is a chemical reaction of serotonin and dopamine when reacting to a specific thing. And while that is true, that doesn't make it less meaningful. Love is a many-splendored thing, has a lot of definitions, and people define it in different ways. But the fact of the matter is love is a desire for closeness. There is a closeness and an intimacy in this second season that is defined by how people interact with each other, and that includes Aziraphale and Crowley. Love isn't just a kiss. Love isn't just a confession. Love is a desire, because love is what keeps people connected. Whether it be platonic love, filial love, romantic love, it is what connects people. And Crowley and Aziraphale don't really understand people just yet. I think they will be forced to understand in the next season. They were almost forced to understand in the previous because they were able to understand that children and how we raise them define the future that humans want. I think they understand them to an extent, but not completely. And what's happening to them right now was a rude awakening. I'm hoping that there will be some absolution for these two. It would be very, very disappointing if they lived a mutual but separate relationship. It would be very frustrating and very disappointing. Why I bring that up is because there are a lot of supposedly queer stories that end that way. Not just in movies, but in TV shows where, yeah, they confess to each other. After that, they're never together. And by the end of the show, they live this mutually beneficial but still separate life. I will be severely disappointed if that happens in the next season. But I am making an assumption for something that's way, way down the line. Who knows how it's going to end, but I do not want it to end like that. Now, there are a couple other things I wanted to talk about when it comes to this season specifically, and that is the consistent comparison to Our Flag Means Death, which is appropriate because Our Flag Means Death season 2 is coming up, and I want to get this out here right now. I will react to Our Flag Means Death season 2 when I feel like it. I already had to lecture you guys about it when Good Omens came out. Please do not make me have to do it again. Regardless, there is a lot of comparison between Aziraphale and... why did I forget his name? And Steed. There we go. There's a lot of comparison between Steed and Aziraphale that I see, particularly on Twitter, which is a garbage fire anyway, but that's besides the point. I personally think that the only thing that is comparable to Steed as far as Aziraphale goes is perhaps their selfishness. I don't see Aziraphale as soft. I don't think he's soft. I don't think he's naive. I just think he is very set in his ways. I don't find that to be a sense of naivety. As a matter of fact, I think the only reason why people see him as soft is because he is friend-shaped. He's not very imposing, he's short, a lot of his posture is very inward, and he is very friendly. I don't see that as soft. I see that as curious. One of the things he seems to like most is finding new books and talking to new people and learning new things. And you can only do that with curiosity. And most of the angels, except for maybe Gabriel, do not have that curiosity. Just like a lot of the demons don't have a lot of imagination. The reason why I like Aziraphale, but not Steed, is because Aziraphale doesn't live on the backs of others. Aziraphale does subvert some people, but he doesn't need them to survive like Steed does. I know some people have asked you, why am I hard on Steed but not hard on Aziraphale? I am hard on Aziraphale. Maybe I'll make like a whole video on it one day, but I personally don't think the characters are very comparable. I will say this season, while it doesn't feel like a second season, it does feel like a nice sequel. It's a bit tighter, it's a bit closer, it's definitely more stylish. You can tell they went the extra mile in like little winks to the audience. There are some people who aren't gonna like this because they're afraid of anything gay. They'll get over it, they won't be missed. There is something missing in this season, whether it be the writing or the feeling that a lot of things were left on the cutting room floor. They were really in kind of a lose-lose situation. I get that, but you really do feel that in some of the episodes. Once again, a solid 7. It's, despite my complaints, still pretty good. I think this particular season, instead of about change, is about love. Love is what binds people together. Be you celestial, be you demonic, be you human. Especially human. The only thing that is going to survive in the end is love. With that being said, please like if you like this video. Please subscribe if you really like this video and would like to see more. If you really, really like me, you can find me on Patreon, where you can support the channel. I put full, uncut, uncensored reactions the day before they go up on YouTube. So when I post on Friday, you'll see them on Thursday, and on the rare occasion I post on a Wednesday, you will see them on Tuesday. You can find me on any piece of social media, Tumblr, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram sometimes. But you can mostly find me on Tumblr these days because everything sucks. It all sucks. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Stay weird, lovelies, and happy eating!